right, what's up, everybody? Damn, dude, horrible. This is episode 12 of Chucano's podcast. Again, here hanging out with people, old musicians, old friends, old things, letting everybody know what's up with the artistic scene here in El Paso. We have a special guest today from a band formerly called Craplodics.
I thought it was called a lot of dicks.
Or a lot of dicks. Aaron Velazquez.
Hi.
What's up, dude?
What up, mijo?
What's up, dude?
Yeah.
What's up, homies?
Glad to see you, man. It's been fucking years, man.
Yeah.
Other than, well, yesterday I saw you, of course, but not the day before. But.
No, I've been hanging out with him for the last couple of days, and it was enough.
Yeah.
I think you could go fucking home now.
Yeah, I'm ready. You guys are fucking annoying. No,
So what's up, dude? How you been?
Good, dude. I've been busy. I've kept to myself a bit because just wanted to get my shit straight.
Get your mind right, yeah.
I moved from here 3 years ago, in August, to San Francisco. I went with my sister and my family out there. Was there for like 10 months because I couldn't stand it up there, honestly. Then I went to Denver, so that's where I'm at now.
What was it like in San Francisco?
San Francisco? You want me to tell you about all that? Because honestly,
briefly, if you want to speak on it
we're not
briefly.
talking about that. Like, what was it like over there? What did you not like?
Yeah.
Well, what I didn't like. All right. Well, this is basically what I'm gonna tell Jacob. Like, this is basically what I felt when I was there.
Yeah.
The people, as far as the people that I interacted with, which was in the Bay Area, so I won't say this about all California, for the record. Bay Area, though, like it's just as bad as you would think. This is where you see all the videos where all the first liberals were being all real dicks to the people, like just calling the cops for everything and shit like that. That's straight up.
Really?
It was that's the way it is there. But like, there's like. The kind of hate that's there is different than where it would be like more blatant, like in the South, because it's more like pretend to be your friend and then stab you in the back or talk shit about you behind your back.
Yeah, that's familiar.
That's
Wow.
Wait,
what do you
No. I'm not talking about any of you guys.
Everybody got a little.
Yeah. All defensive. No, so yeah, like that's how it felt like to me, because the people there, it seemed like they were just real selfish, narcissistic, and like they don't care about being nice or courteous. But at the same time, if they feel like they can get something out of you, they'll be that way. But then you can tell right away when those people are just fake.
Then you give them a blowjob, and then you end up with nothing.
And you know how I am. You remember how I am when it comes to fake people, and I'll get triggered. I'm like, so.
Aaron's very outspoken.
So
very outspoken.
The question that I had for you on that is, how much did you realize? Oh shit, I'm a Texas boy.
Oh well.
Like, how much did you realize that when encountering? Like, what was that feeling like? Realizing that when you were over there.
Okay, so, well, first of all, I wasn't born in Texas, but I lived here since I was young, like 6 or something. So yeah.
He's from New York City.
Yeah.
He's from Jersey.
New Jersey.
He's
And
a Jersey boy.
The Texas thing for me is more like the realizing how people were over there and seeing how fake they were, and not genuine when they're actually trying to be kind. I appreciated that much more here when I started thinking like people that are actually nice and genuine here in Texas are genuine. So that's what makes you feel. That's what makes you feel the difference. It's like, okay, well, that's why I like Texas more. So I know I don't completely hate Texas. Maybe just El Paso a little bit, but not Texas.
Well, I mean,
not really.
I think El Paso has like a love-hate relationship. You know what I mean? It's like I remember when we were in Houston, I missed it so fucking bad. You know what I mean? And when we came back, it was just like, man, why did we come back?
It's because it's more simple. It's like a tiny bit primitive too. Like as far as and ahead of caught up with the rest of the world.
Also, what you were just saying about it is super laid back, and other people here are nicer and they're a little more genuine.
Yeah, because it hasn't been completely overrun with technology and all this stuff and the regulations the way it is in
I
California.
think it being a border town, it's kind of held back in its growth. You know what I mean? So like, definitely. I think that's what keeps it modest.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it is held back in its growth, but there's so many damn people that live here. It's fucking ridiculous.
And I mean, well, if you think about it compared to other cities, what are we like? Maybe like 100,000, 200,000? Is that our population, something like that?
No, we're 6.
We're about. I forget, guys. Are we the 17th largest city in America or the 27th largest city in America?
I have no idea, honestly.
I remember looking that up last year or two and I remember seeing it was about almost 700,000 populations, not quite a million yet. But that's still getting pretty big.
But I mean that it's so big. It's so much people because of every household is holding like 8,000 people.
Yeah.
And
Plus,
especially Mexicans are all cucarachas.
you never know who's doing the census or not.
But
Hey, that was something that was available.
And even something learning like when we lived in Houston and stuff, and then we were traveling more to like San Antonio and to like Austin more. Even then, we realized like El Paso is its own thing aside from Texas. Even though we're part of Texas, like the rest of Texas behaves in a totally different way than El Paso.
Yeah, we're like the stepchild.
We know that.
Yeah.
We went out to. Speaking of Houston, we went out to the White Swan. Remember? We went to go play the White Swan with Elotix one time. And we had booked these shows. It was like a couple of days of shows, like 2 or 3 days.
It was a little dead bar too.
But well, we got there and then we set up, and it was a decent bar, nice PA. We set up, and we're like, where's all the people at? And we had thrown our thing out for everybody to come out. We ended up playing for the people above us. They had an apartment complex, and they came down. Remember, we just played there because we stayed with your stupid brother. There was like 9
people, but they all bought shirts. So
they bought all our merch. They gave us all this shit. It was cool.
Yeah, so it was worth the trip.
It wasn't worth the trip because of where it was, but it was so fucking fun to do it.
Yeah, like, but I want to say the show was like worth it.
Oh, it was so fun because then the following day we played in Dallas. That's when we played in Deep Ellum, remember?
And that's when we got a good.
Deep Ellum's dope.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You met Element 80, right? I'm thinking about Element 80. Yeah. Deep Ellum, what is that? That's the guy from Drowning Pool?
No. Deep Ellum is just a street. It's a district.
Where we partied in Dallas after the Deftones show?
Yeah.
We partied in the Deep Ellum. That's what that side of town was
It's called the Music District. Like that whole block is all music. But so
like Cincinnati.
We played this bar.
Well, I mean, I would say Union Plaza more. No, anything?
Yeah, bigger than that though.
Well, it's bigger, of course. You know what I mean. But it has that feel.
Yeah, kind of like if you go to Cincinnati Street, like that whole when they block it off. But we went there, and then the following day we played in Deep Ellum, and we played the show, and everybody loved us. And then this band LSD, Love String and Demise, to come down with Billy Blair is the guy from Machete. He's a guitar player for them, correct?
I don't remember.
Anyways, we were there. We hung out there before, and one of the girls from that group took us right away. She took us all the way to the top. It was like a VIP section. And then she took us to Drowning Pool's bar, and we go in, and they're like, "Hey, Dallas, whatever." And she took us to this way, and everybody's all over their pain. She's like, "Yeah, they're with me." We went into the back with her. It was fucking awesome, man. Like we met all these cool. We went into this venue, this huge venue they have there where all the big bands go. They let us in. We're just looking around like, damn, dude, this is really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool dope.
It was really cool to see, but Houston was like weird to us. But anyways.
So, not that I want to hear you say it, but what inspired you to fucking play bass?
This motherfucker. I just told him the other day. No, dude, honestly, I was living with my mom, and I always grew up real, like, closed off. My mom was real strict and Christian, like, religious as fuck. So
don't worry about the crowd. Fuck the crowd. Just talk to us.
All right,
they get the blessing to see us
but
talk.
It's because I like people.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fuck them.
Whatever you feel comfortable.
Don't worry about that. Just don't hear me.
Yeah.
You're talking to us.
Okay. All right.
I missed that, dude. But go ahead.
No, well, yeah. So like I was saying, my mom, she was she closed me off a lot. So once I started going to high school and stuff, I started wanting to experience more things, right?
And then he met me.
I heard you guys doing a freaking backyard show.
Back in Angel Syndrome days.
Yeah, it was right across the street from his
Had to
mom's
be what,
house,
2002, 2003?
Mindy's house, yeah.
It was like 2003 or something.
Yeah.
And so my mom wasn't home, and I knew she wasn't going to be home for at least another hour and a half because she was like some meeting that I didn't want to go to for once because I would always go with her to all this church stuff, right? So I decided to go check it out. And that's when I went to go, and you guys offered me a beer right away. But then I was like, no, let me just hear you guys. I was all scared, like, no. So I was like, play a song. So you guys were like, all right, let's do this, let's do that, whatever. And so you guys jumped into a couple songs real quick. Freaking energy, bro. You guys were like, ooh, and this fool dancing like fieldy. Like, oh, I was like, oh, yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, big inspiration, yeah.
That's what I want to do. See, I had already been playing bass a little bit with the church and stuff. But, I mean, that's like with the church. But when I say like the inspiration is like to be the showman, like to put on a show.
You brought up that your mom had you and with a lot of religious practice and stuff like that. Can you speak on how that morphed you as a person?
Yeah, dude.
Good and bad.
The good thing is that it made me a very like a level-headed person who has decent morals and knows what's right and wrong.
Somewhat balanced, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm well balanced as far as I know when I was fucking up. I know not to blame anybody else for my mistakes. I know how to take responsibility for my actions. Like basic life skills that are important that a lot of people actually don't have.
Yeah, you don't have that victimized mentality.
Exactly. So
that's a great thing, man.
So that's what the growing up in the religion thing has done for me, for sure. Plus, I mean, like I have a great sense of humor. I can joke about that shit all the time. It doesn't hurt nobody.
So to this point, do you still follow Catholicism or Christianity?
I was Christian.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so. Not at all. Hell no.
So do you remember the time that we went to school or something, and then I think you were Sunday school. I picked you up and you got home and you're all sad. You're like, dude, my mom just erased all my System of a Down off my Xbox. So I guess his mom apparently found a way to listen to all of it. He would put headphones on and listen to System of a Down.
Or I would play it or listen to it when I was playing my games. And so she wouldn't know that I had it, but somehow she figured out that I had this music. She was always like, it was the devil's music. So one day she figured it out. Dude.
I wouldn't call it the devil's music, but it is somewhat corrupting.
yeah. I mean, it
all music is all music has a different influence on everybody. You know what I mean?
Definitely does.
So she erased all your music?
Yeah, she erased it, and that's when I first had my first cigarette, because
you were fucking pissed.
I was so mad. I went to Danny's house. I was like, "Give me a fucking cigarette." He had the Marlboro menthol hundreds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking grabbed one of those big old beasts and was like, smoked the whole motherfucker. He had him drive off. I just jumped in. Actually, he was already driving off. I jumped in the back of his truck and then reached in for a cigarette.
Nice.
It was that was what happened with that. I mean, that was the last time my mom ever tried to control me, though.
So like tell us about the guilt-free aggression days, man. Those were some pretty good days for you guys, right?
That's actually when it was all starting.
Yeah, but I wouldn't let you guys hear some of the older music.
But like, what was it? How was your experience on that shit? Like, how did you experience it?
So Danny, I had known. I was a freshman. He was a senior, right? He's that much older than me. He's old. Everybody should know that. No, and then
still a good look.
But me and Chris, our original drummer for Elotix,
Castillo.
Castillo, Chris Castillo. He was
shout out to Chris.
He and I,
shout out to Chris.
Love you, Chris.
What's up, bitch?
He and I got together. He was a junior when I was a freshman, and he like took me into their clique or whatever. So me and him.
So did you already know Chris, or did you know Chris through Danny?
I knew Chris first, and I knew Danny through someone else, because I knew him through his girlfriend in high school at the time. And so me and Chris had been trying to get to a band for me, because we knew he played drums and he knew I played bass, so we wanted to do something. And we were going through guitars like crazy. Finally, one day we decided to go to Guitar Center to look at our setup that we're going to buy for ourselves that we were saving up for. And they had some flyers there that you could take a number. People
back in the day,
bands.
remember?
Like when people actually did that.
There was a music board. They would have you'd make a paper and then they'd cut out.
I would fucking hate those days, man. Taking all the fucking flyers everywhere, walking to the mall, passing those shits out, hoping these people show up to your fucking shows.
There was no social media back then.
That's what you guys were talking about, right? Or
it was around that time that there was no social media, so it wasn't like you couldn't put an ad up on
MySpace was there,
or anything.
But MySpace was there, but it wasn't that crazy or whatever.
But
So we got this fool Jason's number. Then 2 weeks later,
the guitar player.
Yeah, the guitar player for Guilt-Free Aggression, which was our first band right before Elotix. We got that number. Me and Chris hit him up. We jammed well, and then we were like, all right, we need a singer. But I didn't realize that Danny was a singer. He and his brother lived right next door to my mom. So I ran into his brother, or I ran into Danny, and he started showing me some of his solo stuff. Or maybe it was in just
first of all, I wasn't a singer. Okay, first of all, I was only doing little things because they had left. And I from what I had learned, I was just like, oh, I'll just try it. But I showed you some of the computer shit with
kind of like what Chris was doing the other day.
That's what we're talking about. Just kind of just did my own little solo stuff, and then I would just show him. One day, just randomly like, hey, check this out, and all right, cool, and then continue.
And so then when
I was under the impression that you started Guilt-Free Aggression, because you always give that impression every time you talk about GFA.
No, we just all joined together.
He does, doesn't he?
No, I said that's when I never started.
I was under the same impression.
No. You always give us the impression.
No, I said I finalized.
All right, I started everything.
No. Fuck you guys. I finalized the completion of that band, because if I hadn't gone, you guys.
He was the one to fill in the
fuck you guys, I did start it.
So you walked in and just did nothing and took all the credit. I got you. Let's go. We'll continue.
Shit.
So then we started jamming. So that experience to me, going back to your question, is it was the first genuine band that I had. So it was the first time as a minor too, going into a bar, playing these shows that, because this guy was older. He's like 25. I'm 17. These guys are their ages, whatever. They're like 3-4 years older than me each. So that experience was like a little bit overwhelming, because at first, I mean, like I said also earlier, that my mom held me back a lot, so it wasn't until high school until I started really experiencing things.
And she kind of liked me, so she would let me take it.
Yeah, because he's a nice guy, so he knows how to talk to
he's a
moms.
wolf
But
in
she
sheep's
didn't know.
clothing. Yeah.
Sink his claws in. Like,
No, I never heard.
My mom never realized that you're the devil.
Yeah, but
I know. Right?
your mom would go like, "Te vas a llevar a Aaron?" Yeah. Okay. Me lo cuidas, me lo cuidas. Si no,
She's like,
That's how- yeah,
he's
that's
like,
how
yeah,
she
yeah,
did
yeah.
that.
You walk in, you get a fucking 40 and a cigarette right away. Like, here you go, buddy.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember those days.
Anyways,
Yeah.
and then so we get up to Jason's and we start doing this. We start doing our gigs.
Yeah,
remember?
we started doing
That's fun.
gigs. I was 17 years old, getting into bars. We actually went to Dallas to do our first
The
Battle of
Bulldog
the Bands.
Battle of the Bands.
Yeah,
We
see,
sucked balls.
and I wasn't even out of the house yet. I was still in high school and everything. Like, it was just so as far as how it was for me as an experience, the most generalized word was overwhelming, but also like very it taught me a lot. Like,
You were determined. You wanted to do it because if
Yeah.
you didn't, he wouldn't have done
It
it.
gave me a lot of reason and perspective to be able to
Hell yeah.
go as far as I could, and which should have been more, but you know,
So,
whatever.
other than me, what other bass players did you look at? Like, okay. So, did you look up to anybody as like a actual musician, and like maybe style wise, like did you like?
Yeah. Well, because I noticed Fieldy jammed a lot like you too.
Yeah.
So when I saw
that's
I was
where
like,
I totally ripped off,
Yeah,
Fieldy as a kid, you know.
I don't know.
But
I don't
I-
know because the other day, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I know how you jam and how Philly jams, and the other day I saw Jacob break it down like that. You were doing the little foot twist.
No,
fucking
we
getting it. I was like,
we had
"Man,
that
it's kind
corn.
of your guys'
we
style."
had that corn jam. That's where we took that from. But
Yeah.
after a while,
and
I
I took
made
mine
it
from
mine.
West Borland, like that twist, like the foot like that.
Yeah,
That's Wes.
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
weird. Huh?
Mine, the only difference between the like I do some Fieldy too, but I also throw in some Ryan from Mudvayne.
So like that he was your
He does a metal
musical
hair
like
spin.
inspiration. Like when you hear like music, you're like, okay, yeah, I want to sound like that. I want to try.
When
to
it comes
do
to
like that.
when it comes to metal bass, yes.
Yeah.
Ryan?
There's other inspirations, yeah.
So like I know you're
He's
pretty
dirty.
broad in your music, and you like a lot of different types. You know, like I know you dig like the Bee Gees and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Is that
70s
something you
disco is
listened to
awesome.
growing up? Is that what you know?
Yeah.
I fucking love 70s music too, dude. Like those bass players, those fucking
Oh,
harmonies,
man, those
everything,
fucking
dude. I think the 70s, when it comes to music, I think that's the golden age, from my personal opinion. When it
Yeah.
comes to everything, when it comes to R&B, when it comes to rock and roll,
Because
everything.
it was still classic simple, but they were fucking around with the synths and getting real futuristic at the same time, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drums were just simple. Drums were just a
And
basic
they were the first
backline.
to start incorporating everything, like the harmonies and doing harmonies. All that stuff is very important in music
Yeah.
nowadays, and that's when they were doing that a lot back then too. So yeah, I mean, I also love classical music. In high school, I was doing a lot of classical music.
you did.
Forgot about that.
when it came to like bass or guitar, or
guitar.
when it-
That was guitar, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's just all it brings everything together. You know, you can do quartets and have a guitar playing a bass part but that's just the way it works for that
Yeah.
kind of music. But it doesn't you know,
So
it all
who-
comes together.
who else besides the Bee Gees were you like influenced by?
But in the
Yeah.
it's not just the Bee Gees. Well, like right now, I've been listening to a lot of the Beatles too.
Really?
Especially when I try to go to sleep.
You?
Yeah, the Beatles.
Beatles?
I like the Beatles. They're
Yeah,
chilling.
the Beatles are fucking dope.
They're chilling.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know they're kind of poppy, but I like a lot of.
No, they.
They're the blueprint, dude. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck what anybody says. Like, but I think that's crazy that you started listening to them.
Yeah, especially those songs like "Here Comes the Sun" and "Lucy in the Sky," "Strawberry Fields."
Oh,
Those songs
yeah,
are cool, dude.
Well, 'cause
My
it's
favorite song is
melodic.
"I'm Only Sleeping."
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh shit!
see. I had to add that one to my list. 'cause
That's
I found this
beautiful.
fucking
I'm Only
dope ass
Sleeping.
cover, dude, by this chick, dude. She's not only beautiful, dude, but she sang it fucking awesome, and then the guitar part on it is fucking amazing, dude. I'll send you the link, dude.
Yeah,
It's dope.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Oh, and I like you know, I don't know about Sarah McLachlan's other songs or whatever, however the hell you say her name, but I like when she does that song "Blackbird," which
Yeah.
is a Paul McCartney song, I think.
Okay.
And that song, dude, that every time I hear that song, it just touches me. It also
Okay.
reminds me of that movie I Am Sam.
While we're here, because I was gonna ask you anyways, a song that's a guilty pleasure of yours.
A guilty pleasure. I would say
Yeah.
that one. That's the one.
Really?
Honestly, because it's this chick that everybody knows is like whatever. Everybody has this opinion about her, but she has a beautiful voice, dude. A real throaty,
Yeah.
real womanly voice.
Yeah, I like that Janis Joplin raspy type. you know,
Yeah, it's nice, and she sings that one song, and it's like so, and that's a cover, but at the same time, it's very like mellow, chilled out song, and I'm like, Anytime I ever want to send somebody that playlist, like to help them, like if somebody tells me they have problems going to sleep, I try to offer that playlist. But I always like be like, I'm gonna take that song out first.
Yeah.
So I guess
That's like sending the old school mixtapes right there. Huh?
Stupid.
You send out the playlist.
You just let them have
I
it.
know,
Dude.
yeah.
Going back to what we were talking about earlier, if I had to think of like anyone locally that I really looked up to myself as well, I want to say Ashling. Ashling, shout out to my boy Rick, and Luke and all them from Ashling, man. Those dudes were, I know I was just getting started with Realm and stuff like that, and I would go and check those guys that play like at Bennigan's and all that stuff, man, and they were on another level. That's Gonzo's bass player for Beautiful Morning.
Beautiful Morning, yeah.
Dude, that was his band, Ashling, and they were fresh, dude. And I looked up to those dudes, and I was like, they have the melody, they have the heaviness, the right amount. They're doing it their way. Like, that was kind of a blueprint for me too, man, looking up to those dudes. And it was so funny the way I met them, because my older brother used to work with a guitar player, Luke, and he gave me the demo. It was like 4 songs, and I played that CD, and I was like, oh shit, these dudes are from El Paso.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, dude, these dudes are fucking bad, man. And I remember I got to go meet him one time, and I was like, hey, man, you the drummer from Ashling? And then my boy Rick was like, who wants to know, bro? He had the best bro, dude. There's a couple of people I know in my life that have a good bro.
Good bro.
And that's Rick Murphy, dude. Rick,
I think Gonzo has a pretty good bro.
Wants to know, bro. And I was like, hey, man, no, I came to see you guys, man. I never seen you guys live. They're, oh, okay, cool, man. Like, but it was I'd have to say them. My cousin David, he was in a band back in the day called Motivo. No, I think so. And the Chamucos and stuff like that. And they got pretty big too. And I used to go walk down the street in Fabens, and I'd go see my cousin play, dude. And he was a bass player. He was fucking sick. He went to school for all that shit. And that's what really got me into it, dude.
Yeah.
You know. And then of course, you know, the natural stuff like Korn and Deftones was going on at the time, Taproot and all that shit, you know.
All that cool shit. Yeah.
Do you guys have any local influences?
Oh man.
I honestly I don't think I had any, like, some, like, if anything, like the one that sounded the coolest to me was Sabrosa.
Chris
that was
Paulus.
yeah,
Fuck.
that,
But we
that
played
was
with
the
them
band
forever.
that to me I was like, oh shit, they're fucking dope,
They're
you know.
really
But
good.
other than that, yeah,
Yarbrough was one of my favorites.
Yarbrough was good, but I don't really remember them.
I liked Soma. I really liked their
Tampoco.
music when they came. It was around the time that we were together. Soma was doing pretty good, and then the only thing is they were like hardcore screamo, whatever. Most of them weren't assholes, but their fans were the ones that would always fuck with us. But they were like super good. I mean, there's
Well, it's because we weren't
bands.
emo. We were
Yeah.
somewhat different, you know, and I think that's what alienated us.
I guess we were trying so hard not to be emo, but we were just trying to be alternative in a scene where nobody was doing alternative
anymore.
So
And now that
out of
those have
necessity, we kind of played a little heavier.
In reality, ahead of the curve, but nobody in El Paso really realizes that until later.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
hella young too.
until now later.
I remember when we recorded our album inside a home right there on Danny's Street, and
Yeah, shout out to Dinos Pomoni, baby.
like I wish people would have told me that, you know, like the way I was slapping my bass in that recording, that it didn't sound good. You know what I mean? Like, we were kids and we wanted to have that Korn vibe,
That
and
feel.
you know what I mean. But it didn't sound like a kick drum. It sounded like you were slapping a bass incorrectly. You know what I mean? And yeah, dude, I was just like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that yeah, it was
So let me throw this out there for you guys.
Yeah.
Because now that we're talking about which local bands actually inspired us a little bit, you guys know obviously that anything you guys did after Angel Syndrome and anything you guys did are the only guys I've ever really looked up to. Let me
nice.
put it to you,
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Let me put it to you this
I didn't
way.
know that.
I love hearing that.
because though, I also had enough confidence in us that to where if I looked at anybody else, it was more competition than anything. You know?
I remember
You know
the
what I
first
mean?
time.
Like I felt like we could do better. Like I was like we could do better, except for you guys. You know, like I was just like you guys were your own thing sometimes.
Separate. We're totally
Yeah,
separate
yeah,
from you guys. Yeah, absolutely.
But so like I never looked at you guys that way, but everybody else I would always look at it like we got this shit. Like we could
like,
top that or something like that.
I had that type of mentality, dude. We had just gotten back from Houston and we went to go see your guys' CD release, and I walked in super like negative, and I was just like, whatever, dude. And I was blown away. I was like, damn, these guys are onto something, dude. I was like, fucking like, wow, you
Yeah,
know. And especially your bass playing, this guy's guitar playing was like, you know, on another level, and I was just like, that's fucking
man.
dope. I was so proud.
We worked
I was so
really
proud, dude.
fucking hard.
But I wanted to hate so hard too, man. I was just like, man, my mentality right now is
That's why.
the
That's
one
why
I'm
I got,
walking in. You know what I mean?
What made me. That's what made me realize that's what I felt.
But I
because
think
of what you said.
But
earlier.
I think at that point, like, we didn't even care anymore. We weren't always about like, oh, let's compete, let's be better.
Not like it wasn't so much a competition. It was just like
We had done it again, like when I was with you guys, Angel Syndrome, practice every day, play every weekend. We got so involved in making it the best that we could. I mean, we could not play for 2 or 3 days, get back on and play like a fucking live show, and it would come out perfect because we were so
competitive.
We were just so intrigued.
I think you guys were
especially
competitive,
with
and I
me.
think that's a very important.
a little
attribute.
bit, but more to like what he's trying to say is like that we didn't have time to try to even really compete. It was like it was just in our heads like we are focusing on making our shit already.
We gotta
the best,
make our shit the best,
as best as possible.
My only regret, and I don't think that it was anybody's fault, but my only regret is that when we came home and we came back to a brand new music scene where alternative was being like was being pushed in the music scene now here in El Paso and stuff, and you guys were on top kicking ass in your genres and stuff. My only regret is that when we came back, we ended up coming back to a huge disconnect between us because we should have been family from the beginning.
Yeah, it was hard.
And we had a lot of hang-ups, but they were more insecurities and not really out of any anger. And it wasn't out of any type of jealousy or anything. It was just kind of like,
awkward.
oh,
Just
I need like how you came back from Denver after these 3 years. And you're like, I need to find my people. Where are my people?
But I
that's
think
what we did when we came home. But people were in my ear saying, "Oh no, Alodic said this about you guys. Alodic doesn't like you." And I'm like,
did.
"That's
And I
not
think-
true.
I think you had
know
the
all
same
those
thing,
guys."
no?
Never did.
And
No,
then
but you had
people
the
were
same thing,
going
though,
into
right?
your guys' ear and saying, Angel Syndrome saying this, and that wasn't the truth.
And there were particular promoters that would be like, "Hey, these guys want to play," and then we'd be like, "Because all the stuff that they had been telling us," and we're like, "Well, do they
We're
really
just
want
like,
to play, or
well,
do they want to come just
so
to be dicks?"
we would
Like,
go like, we'll do our own thing,
Yeah.
and then you guys would be like, "Nah, it's all right. We'll do our own thing."
until we finally got
And
back
then,
together.
until I started taking matters in my own hands, and I started like going to Danny like, "Hey man!" And one time we got together and we played guitar together one time, and I even kind of threw it out at him. I was like, "Oh man, you should kind of come back." And he's like, yeah, dude, no, that'd be fucking crazy." And that was it. And then that's when we went to go check you guys out, and I went with an open mind. I was like, you know what, dude, I know Danny well enough. He's not stealing my fucking songs. We all play in drop D, and we all do open and 7, open and 7, open and 7. Everybody does that shit. That's not me. That's not my shit. So I went and I checked it out, you know, and it was a beautiful response, and it was a beautiful show. Everything lined up, stars aligned, dude. And it was just like, oh fuck, it was overwhelming. It was a sense of pride, and it was a sense of heartbreak too, because I always felt like we should have been family from the beginning. We should have came home to you guys being like, yo, let's fucking rock, bitch.
I mean,
That's
but
what I wanted.
It happened that way for a reason, you know what I mean? But it all came together at the end, you know what I mean?
Eventually, everything went back to how it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
For a while, too,
and I'll tell you what, also, and Guy will tell you the truth, too. When you guys got off stage, dude, and the way you saw me and the way you came up to me and the way Chris Castillo came up and everything, you guys like, dudes, we're so fucking happy you're here, dude. Thank you guys, man. I'm like, dude, you guys just blew the fucking roof off this fucking place.
And not to mention the album was fucking dope too,
And
man.
it was
a really,
fire.
really great, well put together.
The only
album.
one that had a problem with me was Mike.
Oh yeah.
Mike had a problem with me, but you know, he came around and we became.
I don't think he had a problem. I just think he has that vibe. He has a force field around him. You know what I mean? And he
did have a problem with me. He told me.
He told you what was his issue with you?
He just he had heard about me from Clint before. He had heard about me from Clint because he's from Clint, and he used to hang out with Johnny Ray's boys. He used to hang out with Alpha Better and all them. So he had already heard about me, right? And like, oh yeah, Jake's and you know, Jake thinks he's the shit and all this. And then going in with Danny, when he heard all the people in your guys' ears, that just solidified it more for him. So he's like, not only do I know Jake already from here, I also know him from Clint, and like he already made up his mind. So when we kind of got friendly again and we played a show together, we'll talk about that in a bit. The next time we interacted with you guys is we we ran a show for you guys at Tortugas.
Okay.
We ran a show for you, or Uncle Polly's, whatever it was called.
It's called Uncle Polly's.
It's called Uncle Polly's in the West Side.
Yeah.
And I'm like setting up Mike's gear and stuff, and I'm setting up his microphones and everything for his amps and stuff. And I'm like, hey man, I'm Jake. He's like, yeah, I know who you fucking are, dude.
Cabrón.
And I'm like,
He
hey,
said it
man.
like that?
Yeah, he's like, I know who you fucking
Oh,
are.
shit.
And he didn't have long hair at
That's
the time.
ballsy. And then?
And I was like, hey man, like, I really like your music, man. I like what you guys are doing. Like, yeah. And he just did that to me, and I was like, all right, you little fuck. All right. This fucking little squeak. Shout out to my boy Mikers. But yeah, he met me with that apprehension.
Yeah, he was already pre.
He already made up his mind because of what happened in Clinton.
See, but it's because of shit like that it takes the time that it took for us to be all brothers again and truly like work with each other the way we are. Like we were saying earlier, nothing happens when you want it to happen.
Yeah.
It happens when it's supposed to happen.
I remember I was working at Walmart. I was doing the overnight, and Chris had walked in, and he came up to me, and we had a brief conversation about that what you guys were up to and what you were doing. And I remember he invited me to go see you guys practice right there where you guys lived, where you lived in the corner of Diego Rivera.
Picasso,
yeah. I remember I went, and I remember he gave me this vibe with intention, like, do you want to play guitar for us? And I was just like, let me see what you guys are doing. And I see what you and Mikey were doing. I was like, that's way out of my fucking
wheelhouse.
Dude. Yeah,
it was beyond
like,
us.
Yeah, so I was just like, fuck that. I'm not gonna, try and
even attempt,
yeah, to learn this shit. But I don't know if you saw the other one. These guys had invited me over to play bass.
Oh, because we were fighting.
Because I know you guys were beefing.
Oh, yeah.
And then
you were fighting. You're like, I fucking quit. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, it was just a momentary thing. And I was like, hey, guy, why don't you come by and see if you can do this?
And I couldn't do it.
And then the same thing, like when he was fighting with Mikey.
Mikey quit too. And then I called Jacob. Hey, you want to come see if you can throw it down?
You see, you're a bitch sometimes.
But
we had shows.
And you were with me. And I'll tell you, I felt like I would be the one to be able to preserve your music.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I give a fuck enough about this to preserve your guys' music and what it means to me.
That's what I
to
felt,
everybody. Yeah. And I think I should give it a try. So I went to Aaron's house, and Aaron was like trying to teach me like all these fucking riffs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm fucking stupid. I can't play guitar. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah. And it was just
it's hard to teach from bass to guitar though, so
it you know what it felt like to me. I learned a lot of Beatles songs when I was a little kid. When I tried to learn Beach Boys songs and I tried to learn Brian Wilson's like guitar lines and stuff, fucking totally threw me off, and I couldn't anticipate where he was going next with the guitar line.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt trying to learn your guys'
yeah, because
lines.
he has like fucking 8 chords in one song. He's just
fucking,
yeah,
stupid.
So since we're
and
talking,
that's exactly how I felt trying to learn your guys' lines. And Aaron's so fucking G about it, dude. Aaron's telling me, dude, Jake Casillas from Angel Syndrome. It's just like this, dude.
I think that's what it was that threw you off more than anything. It was the rhythm and the palm muting.
I'm retarded, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, it's that. I think the fucking palm muting, the fucking rhythm is just stupid. Just like, and we didn't come from metal, and you didn't know how to palm mute.
That was our thing, man.
I didn't come from metal either.
I know, but you just
it was just my brain on high.
You just took it, dude. You just took it and ran with it. You guys had an energy, man, and that was what you guys did. And you guys were like a gang, bro. You guys are just a gang. You'd show up, you do your thing, you look around, like no one else is part of that gang, just you. And you guys would just show up and be like, we're gonna fucking tear shit up, and we're gonna drink a lot of fucking beer and not give a fuck, and boom. And then it would just be like, boom, like it would just be like abrasive in your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful time.
Those were good times.
I like that we get a chance to talk about that while Aaron's in town and shit,
Yeah.
It was definitely fun, dude, because it's like you said, none of us really came from metal. I guess nobody can really, well, I don't know, maybe it's different.
We weren't ready
for
for
other
it.
people. But there's like a thing about it too. Like it's kind of like in you to feel that type of rhythm and shit for that kind of music. Because that's what it is. I mean, that's what we love to do. We wanted to sound like, in my mind, afterwards, thinking about it, reflecting these last 3 years, I wanted to sound like either Bless the Fall or Seven Dust. And those two are very widely different.
But then we're
like
listening to Coit and Cambria and fucking Incubus.
Yeah.
We went on, like, we would go do stuff out of town. We just listened to all these different albums. Like, we're listening to stupid shit.
Yeah.
So if you listen to, like, some of the Embrace the Heartache stuff, half of the songs have this like melodicness to them because
Can we play some? Can we
yeah,
play
yeah,
some
of course.
Let me set it up while you guys talk.
Do you have
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. He has some. You have the older shit or what?
It's on YouTube.
Oh yeah, okay, go
Is
for
it?
it. But
Well,
we're
there's something on YouTube.
we're listening. Like for instance, we did Reflections of D, and that song had a lot of Coheed and Cambria influence. If you listen to it, like all little breakdowns,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
real
Army
melodic.
of One's on there.
There's some keys in it and shit.
That's
fucking
what
dope.
that's what I know we were getting more into too when we switched to the newer stuff with when we got Bernie and we were starting to do the second album. We were wanting to focus more on rhythms,
Yeah,
and,
'cause
and melodies and stuff and harmonies. And we were like-
Bernie's a little bit. Well, no, Bernie's a lot more intricate with his feet.
Mhm.
So if you listen to Embrace the Heartache, Chris is good, but Chris was he was learning with all of us. We were all learning.
Yeah,
And like it's hard to even follow those rhythms. I don't care who the fuck you are. I couldn't do it. There's no way I could play the way Bernie does.
No, Bernie's fucking footwork is on point.
So Chris's footwork was a little behind because we were all learning it. So Embrace the Heartache, some of it sounds off, but then you'll hear put a song from Embrace the Heartache, the album, and then put on Army of One, and you can see
Yeah, the
how
difference.
much more Bernie was able to follow those rhythms.
that's why it's been my like fantasy, I guess, ever since I thought that all this was dead for me for a while. I thought all this was never gonna come back, but it's been my dream to finish at least the second album.
I don't know which one has an official recording.
you were never
not
inspired?
a live recording, but one more like an official.
You should be able to.
Just put Army of One.
Well, Army of One, but that's the second album.
Yeah,
Yeah, put that on.
Put Redeemer. Look, Redeemer's from Embrace the Heartache. That one's really good. It's all red. It'll just be the red cover, the CD cover. They should all be there.
Are you sure?
Yeah. If not, I have them on my Apple Music. I believe. Oh no, maybe not. But
This is what's coming up.
That's just YouTube, but I don't think that the album was ever on YouTube.
YouTube.
Ju.
That was funny how Liz Tina did last week. She's like YouTube, and I was like, oh damn, she.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was pretty
she's-
fucking cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Liz
Liz
Tina
Tina,
and
hell yeah.
Damian Gray, man. We had a fucking awesome time with those dudes last episode. Check that out if you guys get a chance.
I can't help it, dude. I want to look at them. Hi, everybody.
Hey, so real quick, man.
it doesn't come out. We're gone. We're not on the music scene anymore. Let me see if it's on my Spotify. Or
Well, I mean, there's still all those live videos.
Yeah,
but
they're all
those-
there.
The sound
It's
quality.
just- Hey, it was fun though. Well, you can show them Army of One, dude. That one came out super good. This one we spent a lot of money on. We spent a lot of time.
Okay, well, there's Army of One here on Apple.
Yeah, check it out.
Should I play that one?
Yeah, go ahead. That's already with Bernie though.
Yeah, that's Bernie. Burn Dizzle. Shout
There's
out to
also a
Bernie.
music video on YouTube as well.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Sorry, everybody.
It's like plugged in wrong or something.
I heard it. There it is.
There you go.
Sorry, guys. Let me just start it one more again.
One more game.
Me?
Yeah, so this one we spent a lot of money on, man.
That time for it.
Here it goes.
No,
Oh, we're gonna take.
you gotta wait.
Remember, we made Bernie do the quadruplets here. Watch.
Right here.
Nothing. Water.
And he fucking did it. He did it.
No Dromagog.
I'll tell you right now what we used.
It feels so empty. This heart's unfolding. These tears unraveling until hatred towards you.
He never let me do the harmonies. He had to do it.
No. I have to record it. I'll show it to you guys right now. It's funny.
Try to do it.
But it all remains the same.
Do the missing harmony.
'Cause you're never alone. And it's hard enough to say what you already knew deep down would leave you empty.
Just added that one little one. Just a little one.
I remember certain leave us with no break.
That's who we forgot, yeah.
You gotta throw in the dances, man.
So let me just what I was gonna tell him right now.
That's Army of One by Lex.
Dude. So not remember. I'm sorry. What I was gonna ask
you
you is,
remember
do
the
you
day?
remember? We have like 3 songs called Remember that ass.
Yeah.
Yesterday,
Forget.
we officially got together. Me, Aaron, and Bernie, and we jammed, and we started going through the songs. We remembered most of them, but we'd start one and then like, oh yeah, that part.
Yeah.
And we just picked it up like nothing.
Yeah, a couple of the songs came out like that. Some of the other ones we were like, okay, well, this sound part sounds a little bit, so we got confused. But then we're like, a couple tries and boom.
But I
came right
literally,
back. That was crazy.
I literally busted a Jake yesterday, and I say Jake because when Jake gets overwhelmed when he's singing, you'll hear him just go. Like he gets gaggy, and yesterday after
I overexert myself, and I'm just like breathing in hot air, and
he
it
has
makes
to
me
do
want to
that.
throw up.
But we know he's not gonna throw up, but I know what he's doing. I'm like, you're right. He's like, yeah, good. Yesterday, I actually after every song, I was all, okay, go, because it had been so long. But I hit everything like on point, dude. Like there was.
But is
nothing
that what it really was,
missing,
though?
dude. Yeah, that's what it
Oh,
was.
okay, of course.
I was sitting out there in Denver for the past 3 years, singing in my car at the top of my lungs every day, thinking I'm over here working on my vocals at least. But then I get there and
We all did
I throw out my scream, and I'm like,
No, Aaron,
Yeah.
Aaron gets to a part of screaming. He's all like,
Yeah, that's how.
I was like, what the fuck, dude? You lost it.
Those screams are hard to fucking
Yep. When-
conjure on your own. You know what I
when
mean? If
you
you don't know how
learn-
to do it and you're just trying it, it's just like you're gonna fucking fail.
Remember, we
miserably.
went on a scream fest. Like me, we started learning how to scream, me and him, and then I got really good at it. And I would just, like for as long as we could, we would just do it. And then yesterday, I felt like a bitch.
if we were to get back and start doing shit again,
Yeah,
dude,
you
you'd have to take over the highs. I could do better at the lows now.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
do highs no more.
You gotta use your diaphragms for
Yeah.
that one.
So,
too, man.
well, you were asking right now about the drums. So when we got there, it was a really nice drum kit, but the guy that we recorded with insisted on using his truth snare. That's why that snare is really nice and tight, real nice and big.
For Army 1?
Yes, and then on the kick, we took off the heads. Well, one head, we took off the outside head, and he stuffed it with a shitload of blankets and pillows, so you didn't hear nothing. And he
That's
put
what sounded all slappy.
he put
All
the mic
attack.
in between.
All attack.
Put the mic in between, so all you would hear was just a. So everyone he hit, he put it on a trigger, so it would. No matter what, he wouldn't miss. So Bernie couldn't even hear his kick when he was doing it.
Yeah.
He just had to know his, and then he would hear him back, and he'd put the trigger on it.
He's the little
and
tap dance over there.
and you just figured out which one we liked. And
No, I've always been impressed by Bernie's footwork, dude. That's his.
Yeah, the other day when you were recording his feet.
Yeah.
Was that what was that one song that he does?
The one with the where he changed the beat. and,
Yeah, what was it that we were doing?
it's not Tears of
Oh,
Blood.
he goes. Like he's just fucking stupid.
The way he can change it too, like he can pick up.
Dude,
on
this guy came off of 3 years of not drumming either.
Yeah.
And yesterday it took him a little bit. He had to warm up, but he was starting with the simple shit.
4.
He was starting with the simple shit, and all of a sudden he would just start adding the.
Did you make him have to try to cumbia or anything?
Are you kidding me, dude?
Did you make him?
No, fuck no.
Actually, when you guys were jamming, he and I were talking, and he was telling me, he was like, dude, see, he was pointing out your guys' drummer. What was his name again? JJ.
Yeah.
He was pointing out that guy is real tight for what he's doing, but that Bernie couldn't pull that shit off. That's what Bernie said. So like he's got that same thing. that we were
JJ's
talking
not
about earlier.
as a heavy hitter, but he's so complicated with what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like when we first started the cumbias reggae shit, dude, when I started learning cumbia shit, dude,
yeah.
God, dude, it's the exact opposite of what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's so
You're used to
hard.
straightforwarding it, and this you have to like cut
Offbeat.
yourself in half.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to cut yourself in
Yeah.
half. It was so hard to do it.
The way I had to explain it was, you're basically playing a percussion line on a drum kit.
Yeah.
You're not playing a regular drum line. You're actually playing percussion.
On a
You
guitar,
just so
you
hap-
mean?
No, you just
On
so happen to be
drums.
playing a percussion line.
Think about like
on a
cumbia.
drum kit.
Oh, okay.
Like you got to play the timbales, and then you got to play the
yeah,
you got to play the conguero
The
part. and you
congas
gotta-
are going.
Yeah.
So tell me about some of your favorite basses you wielded, man.
Oh, yeah,
God.
my favorite was my Schecter, dude. The Schecter was badass.
What was it? Do
You
remember?
both have that in common.
I know
Yeah.
you
I don't
stupid
remember.
fuck.
Was it
Week
neck through,
3.
string through?
It was a what?
Neck through, string through.
Yeah, it was all. It was full body, dude.
Yeah,
it
Full
was
body.
bad.
Was
Body.
it 5
And then,
or 4?
The
It was
only
a 4.
the only other one that I had like that was the court, which
I was
is like
about to tell you about that. So back in the day, he bought himself the body was like a polyurethane wooden mix.
Oh,
It was
shit.
like a brown. It was when Court first came out, and we didn't know it was gonna sound like we used to go to Stickle all the time and get our stuff.
Yeah.
So we got it, and it was fucking sick.
Shout out to Stickle.
I don't know where he's at now. I was just thinking about him right now.
So what else did you have?
So then you bought a Court.
I've had mostly after that. I had a Jackson and Ibanez.
Remember your Jackson too, yeah.
Jackson was decent. It was decent. It was
I think at one point all you guys had Jacksons, no? Or you
think
went to the
so.
Epiphone and then Mikey got a Jackson, or Mikey was using your old.
Mikey's always had Jackson.
Yeah.
Mikey's always been a Jackson.
I
He
remember
had that one.
He had that
an
one
ESP.
fucking
Yeah, he
annoying
had the
Jackson, dude, that looked like
Oh,
the
yeah.
my germs, you know, his fucking little hand is like I'm like,
No,
dude,
no.
dude, like okay,
no,
get
no,
that
no.
whole
Sock.
fucking neck
He
fucking
broke that
fixed,
No.
dude.
Yeah, and he did this forever
This is my
because
strong hand.
it was actually.
Shout out to my boy Mike.
It was actually at the. Didn't we play a show? We played a show at. I know it was at Heine's. For a fact, it was at Heine's, but I'm not sure if it was with you guys. When you guys came back, and this is when Josh Acosta's dad had passed away.
Oh, God rest his
So
soul.
he went.
No, that was before we left El
Was
Paso.
it?
Because
Okay,
that was during high school.
I swear I thought it was that. But anyways,
No,
okay.
no.
Well, then I know we played at. I know we played at Heine's.
Yeah, it was Heine's.
Because at the time I was dating some other girl.
And I remember there was that vato that wanted to like shoot up the place or
Oh
something.
yeah. Oh, Mikey, we were jamming and Mikey spun his guitar like he always does, but the strap came off and he knocked his headstock right into the floor.
Because
So it broke.
he tried that guitar spin.
Yeah,
that's why
but-
he's
So how many songs in were you guys?
It was the last song,
Alright,
and I'll never forget because he got real sad and he went outside, and then my girlfriend at the time went outside and I saw them and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, and he was all crying to
He's
her. I'm
literally
like,
crying.
Really, dude.
Like that dude that
So-
would have shot up the place, he would have fucking straight jumped that.
I think I would have cried too if I would have
He was
broke my
sad.
guitar, man.
So
I would've
Mikey kept the machine heads, and then we went to my dad's like a couple days later, and I drilled the holes as long as they were close enough to, and it stayed working fine.
Yeah, that was cool.
And he was just so insistent, like, why do I want to buy a neck for it? Like, it's $150. It works just fine. Like, okay, dude. So he rocked that shit for like another couple of years, man.
Yeah,
No,
that was
he
cool.
still has it.
I see. That's
Nah, I
the
don't
thing
think he
too.
has
I
anything
never
more.
knew too much about my stuff. Danny had to be with me when I was buying my stuff because I didn't know. I never wanted to look into it. I was just
I was
lazy
always
like that.
superficial at the beginning when I picked my shit. I was like, whatever looks cool, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now it's all about sound.
For me, it was always just about feel, but sound is also very.
That is very important too. I like the shorter scale fucking.
You like the short ones?
Yeah, yeah.
He was laughing at your
I
bass.
don't mind jumble frets, you know what I mean, but like the spaces in between the strings, like
Oh,
like
yeah,
the Ibanez, the string spacing is small, you know what I mean, but on the
Okay.
chord they're spread apart a little
Yeah,
further
really
apart,
big.
so you have to work a little harder.
But
Yeah.
he was
But it
saying that
sucks because
yesterday
my fucking action is off and the fucking
on the court.
Yeah, the strings are all fucked
He
up. So I gotta
thinks
fix
his
that.
actions off, guys. That kind of
No,
guy.
it is. I know when I play my bass, like I
play
know
it and
it's
it's just
fucked up.
fine.
See,
Yeah.
that's what I always love about guys
No, but
too.
he
has
so-
dedication to
Oh, yeah.
practicing.
No, because I'm
Oh,
he
analytical,
actually
man. I
practices
fucking
and he actually learns his instrument.
I don't fucking
like,
practice. I don't practice at all.
Oh, shut up, bitch.
I
You know,
don't.
you did though when you were living with
I
me,
don't.
dude. When you were living with me, I'd always see your ass in
Why
the
don't you
fucking
guys talk
room.
about those times
I-
when you guys
I-
moved,
I
you
spent-
guys were roommates?
Well, we used to cuddle. You want to talk about that?
We did. We would watch
I
movies on his bed.
I remember one time he fucking wakes up, dude, and he's like, "Mija, you didn't hear me?" I'm like, "What do you mean, bro?" He's like, "I was calling out for you," and I was like, "What do you mean?"
I had a nightmare.
Remember that time?
It was cute, man. He's like, "Mija, you didn't hear me?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "You had a fucking one of those. What is it called?
night
The-
terror?
The ones where you're being held down.
The paralysis.
Oh, and you
sleep
can't get out?
paralysis.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
sleep
I
paralysis.
fucked
Sleep
that
paralysis,
shit,
that's
dude.
it.
Yeah, but you suffer from that. Do you still suffer from that, or you just had them a couple times?
Every now and then, it happens every now and then. Well, you know what happens more often than not now?
Yeah.
I wake up laughing, dude. I wake up laughing a lot,
Well,
dude.
they-
It's pretty funny. It's pretty dope.
I
love
don't know.
it.
That's a good
I don't know
way
if
to
it's
go. That's a good
scientifically proven, but that sleep paralysis is when you wake up before your mind wakes up before your body can.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So like you feel like you're being held down.
There's a lot of things to it. There's
Yeah.
a lot of different theories to that.
So
too.
do you guys remember
Or it's
that?
just a
You guys
demon
remember
trying
that
to
one
fuck
time
you,
that
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Jacob-
yeah.
That's
That,
straight
that one
feeling.
I felt, dude.
Yeah.
I straight felt a 10 foot cock like
Oh, shit.
wrapping around
And
my
it
leg.
wrapped around your leg and went
once.
inside your butt.
It like tickled it, and then I woke up.
It like slid between your balls and then came in.
Can you guys tell me about that one time that Jacob got super drunk and you guys thought he was dead? And which one of you put your finger
Oh yeah.
on his nose to see if he was alive?
Oh no, that was
nuts?
me. Yeah, I was the one that.
You came to the house and you're telling me, I thought
Yeah.
he was dead, man. Well, tell us what
No,
happened.
it was the other way around.
It's you.
It was New Year's. when guy drank the
Yeah.
mezcal.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
that happened both times.
No, because he ended up going back to his house, which he lived with Aaron, but he fell asleep on the couch. He's sitting up.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was laying down on the couch.
Yeah. No, I wasn't living with Aaron anymore. I
You just
had
went-
already
you-
moved out,
yeah,
but,
but you just
but
went
every
over there.
time I would go party at Danny's,
You
I
would
would
stay
walk
over
to
there.
Aaron's house and
Yeah.
just fucking open the door and fall asleep
Yeah.
So then,
on the couch.
so I wake up and I'm looking at Guy, and Guy's a silent sleeper, dude. Like, he won't move or anything. And I'm just looking at him, and he's not moving. And I'm like, he's good, nah? Like, that's how Guy sleeps. I know how Guy sleeps. He's just, like, he just doesn't move. I was like, but I can't even see, like, his breath. Like, I can't even see his, like, chest moving. So I go up to it. I go ball slowly. Sorry, guy. Like, I go up in it. I touch him like that, right? Like, I touch him right at the neck, and then his little eye opens like this. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm just fucking checking. Fuck. Like, I got all defensive, and then I walked away.
So we have the New Year's Eve party, okay, at my house. We have the New Year's Eve party, and this fucking guy.
I'm just fucking checking.
Well, it's
man.
because what had happened was my
Hey, he didn't even do that. He didn't say nothing.
we had a gift exchange at work when I was working at GameStop, and my manager had bought me a coworker had bought me a bottle of mezcal.
Oh yeah.
You know
With the
what I mean?
worm.
With the worm inside. So I took the bottle. I remember we went to go see fucking Star Wars.
Rogue
Rogue
One.
One.
Not Rogue One. It was the one before that.
Before that, so it was the.
What is it? Episode 9.
It would have been
No,
episode
no.
three. No, the.
Well, anyways, the Dark Force or whatever the fuck. I don't care anymore about Star Wars.
The Force Awakens?
Yeah, Force Awakens. Okay.
Why would you say that?
Also,
All right,
it was
so-
recent.
That was a complete fucking guess in the dark. I'm glad I got that.
So we were watching that movie, and I
One out of
remember we were going back to Danny's house, and I remember my fucking light and my Maxima would flicker, and then it would shut off, and then it would flicker, and then it would shut off. I was like, fuck, I was all fucking paranoid about, getting pulled over, all fucking drunk and shit. But anyways,
We'll talk about your car right now because I want to let that out too.
we get to fucking Danny's house, and I remember everybody's drinking. I remember Dave was there, and he was about to leave, and I gave him a shot of mezcal. And then the house ballsy, dude. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep drinking. Fuck it, I don't care.
God,
you know what I mean?
man.
So boom, I was, taking shots, and then slowly but surely, boom, it fucking hit me. And I just remember just like being well aware of my surrounding, but drunk as fuck.
I took him inside. I laid him down, and then I went back out to the garage, our little studio thing where we were drinking. We kept drinking. We're like, that was dead. And like 45 minutes later, he just comes out all. And we're like, okay. And then he's all, hey, I want that worm. He starts
Yeah.
fucking.
It wasn't 45 minutes later. It
Maybe it
was
was an hour.
immediately. Because when you laid him down, I went to check on him, and he was already standing up. And you're like, hey, man, just relax, dude. Just fucking take a load off, bro. You're good. And then he's like, you gonna let me be that guy? You gonna let me be that guy? And I'm
That's why he's got
like,
it.
guy, you never get drunk. Like, it's okay. It's your turn, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you always take care of me and Danny and all of us. It's okay. You know, man, you gonna let me be that guy? You gonna let me be that guy? I was like, it's okay, guy.
Well-
No, fuck it. I got a second win. And he did get a second win, dude. And he started fucking shadow
was
boxing.
shadow boxing,
He
yeah.
started shadow boxing, dude. He started, like, getting all his fucking energy back.
and then,
I was
and
like,
then he goes into the garage and he's very insistent about
I
the
was all like
fucking
fucking
worm.
rooting for him. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. He got his second win. All of a sudden, he was cool and he was standing straight.
So then
And he was cool and he was looking around and he was just like,
he sits
It's
down.
like
He
chilling.
sits down in the garage with the bottle, and you could just hear it. He's hitting it on the floor, and Jake's looking at me like, "Don't let him eat the fucking worm, dude." And I'm like, "No, guy." He's like, "I'm gonna open this bottle one way or the other. Like, you're not gonna eat the worm. You're just talking shit." He's like, "I'm gonna eat the worm." Ding, ding, ding.
So
So I
Danny-
get a hammer.
Danny, yeah.
I was like, "Bit." So I get a hammer. So I put the worm all the way down, and I
we
just-
fucking break
I
it
turned
on
the
his
bottle-
carpet inside
Yeah,
the garage
I
and
turned
shit
the
right
bottle.
next to his drum
I
set.
turned the bottle like this so that the worm stayed at the corner of this. So when it broke, it would break this way, and I could catch the worm. And then boom, it finally breaks, and then here goes this pendejo, and he's all like, oh no, dude! And as soon as he ate it, dude, he got like gave him like a high, like he was like all like tripping, dude. He was like,
I don't think he
I
tripped
thought
at all.
I, dude,
I
'cause that's what
I
he's
didn't
like,
hallucinate, but I do feel like I was possessed by
The worm?
an entity. No, I'm just playing. I don't know. Fool, I was just fucking.
he was
Drunk.
it
He was
changed
just
him.
too trash.
It,
He
it was
couldn't
it was
handle
it was the worst hangover, one of the worst hangovers that I ever experienced, and I remember waking up and fucking completely regretting every fucking moment. Worst fucking headache in my life, dude. It was just
But can you
horrible.
answer this question?
How
How did that worm taste?
It tasted like you're chewing mezcal. It tasted like alcohol.
It's just that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing sour to it or
Nothing
nothing.
sour. Nothing.
I thought it was gonna be like grainy or like earthy.
No, I mean the texture wasn't. I don't remember
I know
the
what you
texture.
mean.
You know what I mean? But like, yeah.
Like kind of like you ate some dirt.
Well, yeah,
I
exactly.
thought it was
Yeah,
gonna be
dirt.
slimy yet satisfying.
Hakuna Matata, motherfucker.
Dude, because honestly,
Were you that?
and honestly, you know why? You know why we had to break the. You know we had to break the bottle because you know that little plastic thing that's in there. Like
Oh, it
we
won't
could
let it
not
out.
get it out.
Oh, yeah.
They make that bottle so you can't get it out because they don't want you to eat the worm. But we had to get it
A huevo.
But it doesn't do anything. It's just there for fucking.
just for drink measuring.
Not for drink measuring. It's there for just to sell it. There back in the day, they would put something in it just so.
Oh, no,
look
yeah.
what it has. A
No,
fucking
yeah, but
scorpion.
the,
you know, but
the,
it
the
didn't-
plastic is what I'm saying. The plastic thing is all for measuring. That's
Oh,
why
yeah,
they do
yeah.
that second part. But that one we couldn't get it out. We tried
I was
everything.
talking about the worm.
Like, fuck that. Yeah, but the worm. Yeah, it's just now a
Name's Norm.
the name's
Little pizza delivery boy.
Name's Norm.
Yeah.
So now that you're going back to home.
Yeah.
Denver.
Oh, my new home. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So what's
You know
that like?
that's not your
How's
home,
Denver,
huh?
man?
Denver. That's yeah.
Gorgeous.
I never got to it. It's
Sunshine
beautiful.
State.
It's beautiful, man. The you know that
I heard about the
overwhelming
airport
heat?
over there, dude.
The airport.
Scary, man.
What? How big it
The
is?
Denver International Airport.
Why?
Like
Oh,
all
it's like
all the fucking
Masonic fucking shit, all the devil worshiping shit they have there.
yeah, like the paintings and shit.
Yeah,
that
like they
have.
supposedly have like an underground little fucking
like railway and stuff
yeah.
like down there, like the little trails.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Tunnels.
That's where they
Yeah.
have. That's where they have the trains that go from terminal to terminal.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I didn't see nothing. I didn't feel no presence. I felt comfortable. I felt at home. I don't know what you're talking about. So,
You say you were Christian. So.
And
but,
then-
hey, that's why I'm on the dark side now. That's why I tell my mom, like, come on, mom, I'm on the dark side.
So tell us more about
And so Denver, like, okay, you know that
Gorgeous.
when growing up here in El Paso, and you're out playing in the sun and shit, and like how hot it is, and how unbearably hot, and there's never any relief. You have to drink water and chug it.
Yep.
And then your tummy gets all full. And
Yeah.
From the
But
manguera.
there's never
Yeah.
any release. Like
Shit.
you want like you're like, come on, God, one breeze. That's all I want. I'm sweaty already. Just one cool breeze, and I'll feel
Send
good.
some rain.
Never comes.
Yeah.
Is
In
it
Denver, it comes every day. Like it's
The-
hot. It gets hot like here, desert style.
Uh-huh.
But then like 4 or 5 o'clock hits, and then the fucking mountain goes like whoosh, and farts all over us, and we're like,
I remember you used to love it
Beautiful. It's
fucking
beautiful.
cold inside the fucking house when we lived there.
Yeah,
That's one thing, yeah.
He's always like that. 'cause
I
he
would go
likes to
crawl
be
in bed
his
with me hand.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
And we get all drunk, and I'd be like, Mija, we'll go over. I'm coming in.
Yeah, he'd always go.
And he's like, no, this is dirty. And I'd go lay with him, and he'd start playing Clash of Clans or whatever.
Clash of Kings.
Some of
yeah.
my most fondest memories involve the times we spent with Brian, dude, and that was
Oh yeah.
All right.
sad
R.I.P.
situation. Yeah,
R.I.P.
about hearing about him. You know what I mean? He kind of
Just 3 weeks ago, I heard is when I first found out.
yeah.
Wow.
And that's sad, dude. When you told me, I was just like, God damn, that's like it's unfortunate.
That was-
That
your
it was
other
me, you,
roommate.
and him. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was the 3 of us living together at the time. And he was cool. Like he was a loud guy.
Yeah.
In your face, fucking.
He was
Just
jolly.
imagine a big old black dude.
He was-
in your
he
face
was
laughing.
the most jolliest fucking
Yeah.
bear, other
He,
than
he
you.
would
you
always
know
come knock on my door and then, hey,
Yeah.
what are you
Y'all
doing?
got a secret?
But
Nah.
yeah,
What
he,
are you doing,
he,
da?
he knew when to pull back
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
enough
he
to
did.
Y'all
where
got
he
a
was
square?
like, he was never too overbearing.
Yeah.
you know?
Hey.
And he was a handsome cat too, man. Remember when you walked
He
up
was,
to that chick?
yeah.
Remember?
Colored eyes, bro. Imagine
Yeah.
colored eyes on a black guy, dude. That's like
They were
rare.
green, huh?
All
He
the
had, like,
Mexican
green
girls were like, ah, blah, 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 blah.
No, he does. Hey, yo, could you give me a ride though? Ha for sure, son.
You ready?
You give me a ride or what? Like, yeah, they'll take it to work.
But he would only go for the girls that had a car though, so it's usually the
Yeah,
fat chick.
take. Hey, well, we're on that. Well, no, you know what? I already know the answer to this, but this is just to make it fun. Do you prefer thick or thin? We already know.
What-
I know
what-
the
what is
answer.
it?
Damn, no, that's hard, dude. Because it honestly doesn't matter. You know what I prefer? So a bitch who's not stuck up. So
Yeah.
whichever one that is.
Yeah,
Well-
somewhat humble, and they got their emotions together and shit.
Well, because we're always clowning with Guy about how he likes the skinny girls. So like, if we
No,
go
it's
to a
not-
bar,
it's not like,
if we
okay,
go to a
like-
bar, like he's like, take one for the team. Me and Jake are like, we were gonna do that anyways. You're
Well,
gonna get the
it's
skinny girl.
not-
I want the thick girl.
Well,
Like,
you know
Yeah.
how I am. I mean, I was with Vanessa for how
That's
long?
why.
And she was tiny as fuck. But then we'd be at the bar looking at always the one with the fucking the legs and the fat ass.
the older ones.
So
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Either way, man, it doesn't
You
matter.
would.
I've been single for 6 years.
I came to an epiphany yesterday, and I talked
nobody
about
cares?
it on Talking Wild on the last episode. And my first thick girl was actually a girl that I dated when I was in 4th grade.
Huh?
and her name was Gabby.
So you've been about them thickies.
And she was a taller girl. She was taller than me.
Amazonian?
She was like really round cheeks and stuff. And she was cute as fuck, man.
Round cheeks?
Jesus.
Which cheeks? The butt
Oh
cheeks?
yeah, both of them.
Keep in mind, it's the 4th grade, guys.
I was in 4th grade too. You
Don't-
fucks.
yeah, but
I was in 4th grade
yeah.
too, and I'd hold her. I'd
I-
hold her like.
what he's
I
saying
couldn't,
is
like,
he's like
reach all the
giving
way
us,
around.
he's giving us like the general thought of what she would look like now to us.
Oh, okay.
You know, we're not pedophiles, you fucker.
Yeah, I was in 4th grade too. Fucks.
Yeah, we were.
But I came to that. I hadn't even thought about that.
So that was your first thickie. I
I
remember
think
I hadn't even thought
I
about
think
that.
I only dated one skinny girl.
one.
One.
Wasn't it Aria?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And I
No,
think
fuck
after
it, then.
everybody after that has been not like I'm not saying my girls are fat guys. Girls, I'm not saying fat, okay? Because I know girls are so sensitive. When we say thick, we talk about a woman who's full,
Voluptuous
filled out.
woman.
Yes, someone who's filled out. Because there's even
Borderline
girls,
husky.
Look,
You know, it's good.
I
It's
tell
good.
my nephews all the time. I tell my nephews all the time.
Talk about the dirty girl.
I tell my nephews all the time. You want the
I love that. I
Amazonian
missed that Chris City
woman,
Crown laugh.
the Amazonian woman that'll hold you.
Oh, do you remember?
Like
do you
tall,
remember,
dude.
I don't like
Janine?
being the little
Do you remember
stone.
Janine?
Joy? I always talk. I saw her a while back. She was so big. She's so pretty, but she's like,
So beautiful.
if I'm 5'9", that chick's like 7 feet tall. Like she's big, and then she's just big. She's so pretty though.
Yeah.
Like she's the kind of
I
girl.
took
Like
her on a date
she's the
once.
kind of
Did
girl
you
that I
date
want to.
Dakota?
Yeah.
You dated Dakota, right?
Yeah, she's super tall.
Yeah.
I guess you could call it.
I don't know
dating.
why we're bringing up names.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my bad.
Nobody knows her.
No, yeah, Dakota's a nickname. It's a stage name.
Yeah, it is. It is. One time we were doing karaoke. Me and Jake, and then his friend walked in, and she was Amazonian, and he's like, he already knew, and I was already on. So I ended up having to get a picture with her. I was like, "Come here," and she's like, "Come take a picture," and she has her arm around my shoulder. I
It's
was
like a gravitate, like I'm a magnet to them.
Yeah.
the Amazonian.
It's like the reason why we want to climb mountains as men.
Yeah, so-
mankind, you know. Like,
So we're not calling girls fat. We're saying thick. So when we say thick, we mean
Voluptuous.
nice and voluptuous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
nice. Well,
Full
anyways,
body
I
women.
tell my nephews that, but they're always like, like those skinny girls. I'm like, when they get older, they're not gonna be that. We're not gonna be that way. I mean, I'm way big. I was looking at pictures of myself 10 years ago, and I was like 125 pounds. Even some of the Lotix pictures, dude, no panza. But then
Yeah.
you could tell when we started drinking during the Lotix stages, because you just see a little bump of lump.
Looked like you had a little Carl's Jr. burger in your
Yeah.
mouth.
I
you
always
know what
had a
this
little
fool always looked like? Because he would always stick out his little stomach. He always looked like he drank too much water from the manguera, and he would have that little bloated stomach.
and then you shake your belly, and it's all.
Because he was never fat from anywhere else.
No,
He
and-
just,
and
like,
you know what? I
he
just-
just have his little water belly.
I just stick my bunt out, and let me tell you guys, I stick my bunt out because this is a common act, a common body function. I put my bunt out because like when I'm jamming, I want my guitar closer to me.
Yeah.
All right. When I'm working at work, like I got used to at work lifting tires, use your panza. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that it's I know how panza, but I think it's also like my form, like.
Yeah, because that's also the way you've always jammed too. You put your whole back into it. Me, I'm just like neck, and that fucked me up. Oh yeah.
what was with the hop? You don't want to talk about that.
Oh,
See, well,
the
that's-
shuffle.
What happened when you did the Aaron shuffle?
Do you remember that?
You don't want to
I
talk
remember
about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
You
Those
guys
are
were
my
playing.
dance moves.
You guys were playing an outside show behind King's X in that parking lot. It was in the nighttime.
Yeah.
And it was like a bike thing. And we were up in the front. And you guys were doing that song with the stars.
Starlight.
And then this dude fucking hit me with that shit, and it fucking it knocked me out, dude. And he knew it too. He fucking knew it. He did it too.
I was looking at him from stage like
you did like a heavy scream, like, "Ah."
And then he just started.
And then, boop, 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 and then he just jumped out. And I was like,
So I talked to my brother today. I talked to my brother Joe, and he asked me not to talk shit about him, but I want to say go fuck yourself, Joe. But why I'm bringing it up is because me and Jake, when we do our cover stuff, we try to make him laugh.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be doing our booty thing. But the other day, I finally got him, and I got right next to him, and I wouldn't let him move. Because every time we're at a live show, everyone has their area. Ask Jake, dude. He always comes to my side, and think about it. The neck of a bass is in front of me. I'm trying to jam, and it just move, Joe, get out of my area. Like I have to do that to him, but it's funny as shit, dude. Like you should see some of the shit me and Jake do to him, dude. Like
to Joe.
dude.
we terrorize that.
Fuck, dude. He's trying to sing. He's all trying to belt it out, and we're in the back all just to see if you can make him laugh. Like,
You guys do that Chucano practice too, and that's fucking annoying. I'm just like, these guys are fucking idiots,
no,
man.
fuck that. You know what he does to me? I'm playing and he'll just touch my guitar. And I'm like, stop. So
Slap his hand in
one
there.
time the other day, I got
He'll
him. I
turn
got his
around and
volume knob, and I
vote,
turn it
yeah.
all the way off, and he's still jamming. He's like, And then he was like, "You fucking dick."
He always fucked with people, dude. Chris hated people touching his drums, and he would stand on his fucking bass drum all the time.
Yeah.
Stand on the rack.
You would.
Oh, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's my shit. Hey, dude, when we were jamming, you know that I would fucking stand on his kick. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's worth it, dude. It's worth the show.
You should have tried doing backflips, bro. You would have fucking
Fuck.
You
No.
would have rocked
I would
that
have broke
shit.
my headstock like Mikey and cried in the back
Do you remember when this fool fell off the fucking table
at King's
Oh,
X.
yeah.
at King's X?
fuck yeah.
What was your perspective on that?
It was the shiznits.
I was like, fuck yeah, we're going hard tonight, bitches.
And I kept playing. Fuck it. We finished the song.
We've all done that, dude. I fucking went and
Remember Mikey, dude?
Would he go
I
take a
went
piss in
and
the middle of your
mosh
sets
pitted
too?
at one of the House of Rock shows. I went into the crowd and started moshing.
Oh, yeah,
while
with
playing.
his bass.
I fell.
And mind you guys, this is at the time that there was no wireless. There was no wireless
yeah, I
like
still had the-
cables. It was all cables.
Well,
So we
there
just
was wireless, but you guys just
yeah,
didn't
but it
have
was
any.
so
we
expensive.
were cheap.
No, not because Jacob bought me a wireless set, dude. It was low price. It works great. The only problem is that it only stays charged for like 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
So if you leave it on, it'll die. But when we have a live show, we'll turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, and it's fine the whole show.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we had cables, dog. Remember how it would be at the end of the show? It'd be like your cables all straight, and at the end of the show, it's all like this.
Yeah.
And you're like, very good.
Walk each other, look at each other and walk around like a couple times.
Yeah. You're jamming. You're like,
Right? There. We got it.
that was back in the day.
That's fun shit, man.
Oh man.
There was there's been a lot of things that I've been thinking about since I've been gone, dude, and it's been
Tell us about it.
It's been like 4 years since I've played, 3 years since I've been in El Paso. Couple weeks, or since for a long time, I've been thinking I got to reconnect with the people that I want to keep close to me, because what's more important to me is having friends in your life. Even though I'm not doing the music anymore, but it's possible that we could, and that's cool. I like that idea came up, and it's a possibility now. And I'm like, all right, cool, sweet. And because everybody has had a lot of time to mature. Everybody's been through their things to where they've been able to cope with certain things and be mature about things, and that's including myself. So I think that it's finally a good time for that I decided to try to bring everybody together like this.
Well, what I think is beautiful is that you overcame your shadow. You know what I mean? And you grew stronger from what you went through. And I like the fact that you not reinvented yourself, but you came out stronger. You came out on the other end. You seem victorious right now. I want to tell you that I'm proud of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too, man.
Thank you.
You definitely came with a new energy, and I hope you found that energy like with us too, the energy
definitely.
that you came with. I hope you found it.
I did. I see it.
Yeah.
And that's why I got even more excited, because I see all you guys and you guys are happy and you guys are doing your thing, and that's great, dude. And I love that I can tell that there's not going to be any kind of jealousy or what it was, or like hearsay, whatever the fuck. There's no more negativity and none of that, dude. And I like that. It makes me excited. And I've to be honest though, I've always, not to like toot my own horn, but I've always been a strong person.
Yeah.
But I just had to go and renew that strength.
No, yeah. I mean, both you and I are Capricorns, and our signs, we like to put each other through trauma. You know what I mean? Not each other, but we like to put ourselves through trauma. So we tend to drag ourselves through the mud mentally.
I think we need it, because we need it in order to make ourselves stronger, because it's important. I think
It is. I think a little bit of suffering goes a long way, and not to say like, hey, go fucking cut yourself or something like that. You know what I mean? But it's just like
not that kind of suffering, more like actual suffering.
Actual suffering, and we do that to ourselves.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
guy
true.
does that. I work with him all day. We know how he is.
Because like,
Well,
well,
no, I mean,
like the
like-
way we were talking, Danny, about you know how you and Bernie were talking and reconciling and telling each other everything that you guys have been
That
through,
we've gone through,
and all that stuff is heavy ass shit. And when it comes to me, I think to myself, like, all the heavy shit that I've been through is stuff that I made happen. It was never external. It was internal.
Yeah, it was self-made.
And that sucks. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why am I like that? But oh well, fuck it. I'm strong and I'm cool, and I can be there for people that do go through things like you and Bernie have and shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's what I like to do. I'm a problem solver. I like to help people.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my thing, and that's what I've come to realize. I think that was the most important thing that I've gotten out of this, is that I've learned a lot about myself.
I knew Bernie the least. Especially during your guys' time together and stuff like that. I knew him the least, but I did notice that when you guys got back together on Thursday and stuff, I did notice that he kind of fell back into that routine where you guys would like rib each other pretty fucking tough.
Oh yeah.
out of love and stuff. And it's like
I remember you talking to me about this.
that's cool. It's but it's easy to get carried away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
think-
but
After you left, though, I'll tell you this, Jake. I understand your concern, and that's true. I think that's true too. I think that's
you
something
see
that
it?
we should have not done. Yeah, that's something that we should have never done before.
But you guys were young men. We were all young.
Yeah,
you know.
and we were just rowdy. But after that is when they had this deep conversation.
That's dope.
And I think that I think that was necessary.
yeah, it was really good. It gave what he's going through is real deep, and he's still going through it. And I mean, we had both been drinking a little bit, but I think he needed to talk to somebody just as well as I do, because you guys know, like they know, it's very hard, very rare I talk. Now I talk to him a lot about everything that's going on,
But it was hard in the beginning.
It's hard.
He
now.
didn't want to tell us anything.
It's hard now because it's getting worse, but at times it could be good. You know what I'm talking about. But with Bernie, he didn't know this stuff, so I explained to him, Bernie, all this stuff started happening when I went out of town. You did your thing, and I'm sorry I wasn't there, but I was out of town. I was working. I was going through my own shit, and then he kind of came to, like, it kind of clicked to him in his head, like, oh shit, that's why he didn't go to the wedding.
This is why I say
That's
that
why he
this,
didn't, you know?
That's why this is why I say that. And this whole time, it hasn't just been me that's been growing. Everybody like else, once they had this conversation, I felt like that put them at a level ground. Now they're on the same plane. Now they can understand each other. Now they can build up from that instead of bringing up the past. Instead of talking shit to each other, it's more gonna be like.
But me and Bernie have never really played like that too much. It's always been you.
Yeah.
And then me and Mikey, but me and Mikey would get into it bad.
To be honest, though, I never liked it. So now, if we can stop, that'd be great.
Aaron's always been pretty harsh with his jokes, though. You've always been pretty
I
blunt.
can be mean.
Yeah,
I can be mean, dude. I can.
remember one
But
time
that's
you-
why I don't like to be mean.
I forgot what we were
I don't
doing in the
like to be
kitchen,
mean.
but
that's why I'm like, don't pick on me because I'm gonna get you back, bitch. You're not gonna fucking
yeah,
like
yeah,
it.
yeah. I remember. I mean, you said something like, were you fucking raised by wolves or something like that? And I remember, like,
I
at
love
the
saying
time,
that. I say that all the time.
I got very offended by that, you know. But now that I think about it, it wasn't that bad. But I don't know, I remember a lot of burns that you would humble me with. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, yeah, you know, like maybe if I'm getting a little bit up there, and then you would just like calm down. You know what I mean? Like, and you're the second type of friend that does that to me. You know what I mean? Like, I have another friend, Garen. He does the same shit to me. He puts me in my place, and he'll fucking he'll belittle me to humble me.
What that is, yeah, dude, it's weird. It's weird, but it's because it's not ever to hurt you. It's cool because, like, I know in my heart it's never to hurt you.
Yeah, it's not malicious, or it doesn't have any type of ill will behind it. You know what I mean?
When I do, actually, it seems like if I'm just like being rowdy and ragging on you. It's more like that's my way of bringing up a point that I had been trying to bring up, and it's something like a small topic, so that way afterwards we can actually talk about it.
Yeah, and then that's a good thing about you is that every time you had a conflict with anybody, right away you would go make things right.
Yeah.
You know, Jake and I, we go through our little conflicts, dude. I for the most part, I think it just resolves itself. But I don't know if he.
But they won't talk about shit.
Me, I'll forget about it. But every now and then we'll have our little fucking beefs and our little fights. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I feel like in my part, you know, like apology goes a long way. You know what I mean?
The more you do it, the easier it gets.
I think that sometimes, and you guys experienced it too, but like for me and Danny and me and Guy, or Guy and Danny, like sometimes we forget that, you know, our friendship is an actual relationship that we need to give effort to. Like that plant needs water.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
we forget to water sometimes.
Well, I could be guilty of that because
I do that to Guy, and I do that to Danny, and vice versa, or whatever.
Because confrontations are tough.
Yeah, and I'm with someone selfish with my emotions. You know what I mean? I don't like talking about any type of shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just makes me uncomfortable, whatever. And I hate arguing. And Jake told me last time, you know, you're just gonna shut down. You know what I mean? Because like once I can't get my point across, and then I'm like, fuck it, I don't want to talk anymore.
Or if you don't have a point to get
you don't know, but I always have a fucking point. You know what I mean? But it's just
how to get it across.
Yeah, but like I know you guys had a little conflict, you know, before you guys left, you know. But I'm happy that you guys are back, and it just sucks that it took years.
This time it was like the last straw for me. I had already been into the things that I had gotten into, and I was going to spiral down in that road with drugs and shit, and it was crazy. And then so the next fight that I had with this guy, it was just like, I'm not gonna do the thing that I normally do and
It was
fix it right
a
then and there.
pretty
I'm gonna
ridiculous
fucking-
fight.
Yeah,
too.
it was nothing big.
If you think about it, yeah.
It wasn't even so because it wasn't even that. It wasn't. It
But
wasn't.
a
It
lot of
wasn't
the
even
times
that. It was what I was.
it's the straw that broke the camel's back. You know what I mean? It's just like one too many, I guess, if anything.
I don't even have any camels.
Well, the horse.
We smoked the camels all the time.
Did you get those Marble 50s?
Oh, it's true.
72s.
72s?
And Cowboy Killers.
the camel menthol beasts.
Yeah, the camel. Remember them?
Those,
They had those,
I
dude?
fucking
No,
hate that.
dude.
Every one of you
The
guys
wides?
smoke
Yeah,
cigarettes.
they
man.
had camel menthol.
Mr. Newports.
Disgusting. No. But I smoked as trying to be social and trying to be fucking cool and shit like that. Didn't even
Mr.
know.
Cool Guy.
Mr.
Yeah, I was-
Newports.
Yeah, man. I mean, but
Are
like
you
like naturally, I've been cool. You know what I mean? Like,
and
that's, like,
cools. And you used to smoke cools too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I got
It's
you
contradicting
But-
Carl
but-
talking
and
over it.
crushes.
But I was a kid, you know, and I didn't know better, you know, and I was just trying to fit in, you know, and I for the longest time I was always a follower, you know, so and
That's the one thing
Yeah.
that's the one vice that I have not been able to drop. That
Yeah.
and like I guess eating.
I'm getting
Yeah.
close, man. I'm getting close.
Yeah.
so dropping cigarettes.
Yeah. Like
What
I
is it?
have the craving, but when I go out and have an actual cigarette, it's not the same expectation anymore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's kind of going.
It's because it
away.
needs a camel menthol beast. They had some camel menthals that were wides. They were huge, dude.
I
Oh,
finally
remember
found
the
a
whites.
brand.
Yeah.
I finally found a brand that I'm sticking to.
Which is
So it's Paul Malls.
Oh,
also.
he's always done those.
For a long time. But before that, dude, for like 5 years, I was like every week I had a different pack. You know, like something
trying.
different.
It's because you get tired of the same. Did we tell him about dirty waffles? God, man.
So
Yeah, we did talk about that.
So yeah, this trip was.
Did we talk about your
trip.
car?
I call it a trip.
Yeah,
It's a
I
long
mean,
ass
but
trip.
it's a good trip. How many hours is it?
It's 12.
No, I meant the 3 years. I was talking about the 3 years, but
Oh, okay.
the drive is 10 hours, about 10
10
hours. Yeah.
About from here to Houston. No, Houston's like 14 hours, right?
Yeah, so it's like from here to Dallas. Dallas is 10 from here.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? And that's within the same state.
Yeah.
I'm crossing 2 states.
But the drive is fucking awesome though, right? like
yeah.
the scenery and all that.
Oh
Yeah, it's
man,
chilling. Yeah.
you're gonna go in right
To
there
Denver.
through Alamosa,
Yeah.
and it's fucking beautiful. From there, you'll be like 3.5 hours from Denver.
Yeah.
There's a little town right there when you go in through Alamosa.
Like right before
it's called
Pueblo?
Salida, dude, and I always talk about Salida. Shout out to my peeps in Salida, man. Oh, dude, that fucking little hippie town is dope as shit, dude. One
the
day
thing
I
with
would
me.
like us to get out there and hopefully you can make the trip out there. It's like a 3-hour trip, man. But if we can like figure it out like on a weekend,
Yeah.
we can go rafting and shit,
I have
and we can
weekends
jam
off.
and stuff. So
I have weekends off.
I
always.
would
fucking
I would
dope.
love to I would love for Chucanos to go and hit up Salida and play at the Victoria Victoria Club.
Believe it or
Let's do
not, I was gonna plan a trip to Denver this month actually.
Oh yeah, he
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he was.
There was a couple reggae bands, dude.
Yeah.
Like all my favorite
All
reggae
of our
bands,
favorite ones,
all
yeah.
of them. We're gonna play 2 shows in Denver, dude. And I was like, man, we got to go to at least one of them.
Yep.
And I was just like, man, we got to plan this shit out. And it would have been this month,
But
I think it would have passed already. Yeah,
Just at your fucking house.
yeah. Dude, it was the fucking movement. It was who else? Tribal Seeds.
It was
not Tribal Seeds,
Cali
Cali Buds. Fucking Ayaterra.
Shit,
Stick Figure.
Stick Figure.
Yeah,
I think
dude.
Iration was gonna be there.
Fucking awesome
It would
fucking
have been
lineup,
fucking
dude.
beautiful, man.
And man,
Hey,
too bad, man.
can I also just tell you that your fucking line of questioning surprised the fuck out of me, and it's
Why is
really
that?
impressive. Because you're all fucking educated and articulate and shit. I'm like, what the
Well, dude, it's
fuck?
because a lot of the times dude, I like to sit back and I like to listen. You know what I mean? But you know, like
Well, you've
now
been
that I'm talking to somebody that I actually know and you know
Yeah.
that I love. You know what I mean? Why not? You know, like say more.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
why not? Why not be more open? You know.
I
But
think
for
you
the most part, I'm a listener, dude. You know, I'm always quiet.
Yeah.
dude,
Always,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, I go
Always.
hard with a fucking Q-tip, bro.
Damn.
Dude.
You know,
Hey,
right?
how did you feel? How did you feel when I when they told me that when you guys were playing practicing yesterday, and
Not yesterday,
and-
Tuesday.
Thursday.
Thursday.
And then these guys told me that this song was written by you. You said it.
Oh, guy.
And then
said
after that song was done, I walked right up to you and I was like, "This sounds like something out of If Not Now When by Incubus." And you were like,
no. I was just lying though. I have not heard that song.
"No. If Not Now When is the
Yeah.
name of the album."
No, yeah. But like, I told you that was the inspiration too. But I was just lying. That was not the
What
inspiration
a
at all.
dick. He
You're
really-
a bitch.
I swear, I never heard it. Yeah.
I'll-
broke your heart.
Dude.
You should expect the heartbreak sometimes. I'm at work and they break my heart.
Man.
Both of
I think we all break each other's hearts, but I think like
Fucker.
I don't know,
What the
man.
fuck was that? How did you do that? Was super good, bro. I hate
Yeah.
you. I hate you right
Fell
now.
bass
into
line or
that? You fell into that? I wouldn't
I
have.
did.
I,
Yeah.
knew, I
Well, it's
went
'cause
outside to piss and I already knew that was a lie. I was like, he's fucking lying to him right now.
and then like I had made it a point in my mind to tell you like, hey dude, I was just lying about that, but I just completely forgot.
I totally forgot.
Hey, so
That's fucking weird and awesome.
No, yeah, because like I like to be truthful. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, for like
But it's weird that you said that. That's so dope. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be cut down about that for a long time, Miham.
his whole life was depending on that being a real statement.
He's a rascal.
They're rascals.
I felt like I really understood this guy.
No, but what's
and
the-
he really appreciated it. But now that's
what's
not the case.
what's the name of the album? Did it sound like something from the album, or did it
Something from that album.
Okay.
Yeah, not the entire album.
Which album was
I
it?
haven't heard it.
If Not Now Win.
If Not Now Win?
It's the album before their most recent. And they also actually now have another single
Was
out
it was
from
it after
another
The Crow
album.
Who Left the Murder?
No, it was after Light Grenades.
Like
Yeah,
Grenades?
after Like
Okay.
Grenades.
It was after Light Grenades. Dude, that
Honestly,
whole
dude,
album,
like,
I know. Remember we listened to it all.
I-
That's what I was talking about.
I lost Incubus after Make Yourself, dude.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Like Grenades
Well,
is
it's not
fucking
that. I guess
stupid,
I was
dude.
just inspired by a lot of other things, so I never really took the time to actually like,
No,
let's
well,
check out the new shit.
Light Grenades and If Not Now Win. I think both those two albums are really good. I always. The way I look at bands is different because you know how like you like Seven Dust, but you like also the first album. Seven Dust, I actually don't like the first album, but I like everything.
No,
and how
I
much
don't-
better
I
they've
don't like the
gotten
first
every
album.
I don't
My-
like. I like the newer ones. I do, but I've just always been stuck on Decay, the Decay album.
Yeah, Fade Out the Sun.
Black
That's
Out
my
the-
favorite
Black Out
album.
the Sun.
Black Out the Sun. That's my favorite as well.
The two albums after that, if you really pay attention, they've only gotten better. That's the way I see it.
If
That's the
you're
way I saw Incubus.
if
too.
you're unsure about Incubus, listen to Dig. Just Dig by itself.
It's not that I was.
fucking
It wasn't that I wasn't unsure. It was more of the fact that, like I said, I was inspired by a lot of other
Like,
things, so I never really took the time to like, let's check out
Fungus
this.
Among Us.
Yeah,
And
no,
when-
Fungus Among Us was
and
dope.
When I say better, and I mean like musically as a group, and like I feel like they went where they wanted to go, where they were meant to go, or were trying to go. So,
No,
so I'm, like, proud of them,
that's one of
is
those
what I
bands
feel.
that truly
Like,
evolved. They became they just progressed and
Seven
became
Dust?
Incubus. You're
Oh,
talking about Incubus
yeah.
or Seven Dust? Yeah,
both of
Either
them,
way,
same,
yeah.
I feel the same way about both of those bands.
I remember that one collaboration that Seven Dust did
With Chino.
No, they had that collaboration when the dude from Snot passed away.
Oh yeah,
that was a
Angel
fucking
Sun.
yeah, that was a fucking dope ass song.
You know, I actually have a cool little story about that. I had this coworker. He's this older dude. His name is Donnie. He's like a
Hey, yo, Donnie.
Yeah, he's a short little white dude, long
He's a squeak.
fucking beard. And he talks like, yeah, dude, like he really talks like this. He laughs like, ha 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 ha, like he has that
Yeah.
kind of voice. Real cool dude. And one day, me and him were talking about Seven Dust because I had been listening to it that day or something. And he was like, oh, dude, he was like, yeah, I know Seven Dust. I saw them live a couple times, and then I started just out of nowhere in my head, this song clicked. I was like, you know what? I haven't heard this one song in a very long time where they had a collab with a bunch of other people from other bands in that time. Like some guys from System were there and a bunch of other dudes and stuff. And so I looked up that song and we talked about it. I was like, oh yeah, that was when the dude from Snot died. That's what happened. And then 2 days later, he comes up to my area and he's like, dude, you'll never guess what the fuck, dude. And I was like, what? He was like, dude, you know what we were just talking about 2 days ago? That's the day that dude died. Like, so that, like, out of nowhere, like we were talking
It was
about
on
that
like
dude.
the anniversary.
The
of his death?
anniversary of that guy's death. Not the day the song came out or nothing. It was the anniversary of that guy's actual death. I was like, what the fuck? Like shit like that is weird when that happens,
Shit, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, right? So that was actually
That's like called serendipity, isn't it? Something
Is
like
it? Is that what it is?
It's a serendipitous moment.
Yeah, so that was one of
Wow.
those. I have quite a bit of those, but I wouldn't say I'm like a fucking
I remember you
a mago or something.
really inspired by Tenacious D. I remember it was always unique the music you would bring around. You
I
know?
want to watch it.
And you always kind of straight off the well, from what we were listening to at least, you know what I mean. But I had never really had the ear for that, you know what I mean.
I liked silly stuff. Silly
Yeah.
stuff is cool. But you could also, if you wanted to, you could sit there and actually listen to the talent behind it. And
There's
it's
a lot of
it's
talent
there.
behind it. That's what blew me away
trippy.
by is fucking
Yeah.
Jack Black's
bro. God.
the way he tells the story and the way he puts his lyrics together, and it's just fucking awesome. The cadence and everything.
That
It's
would
just
probably
very,
be like the best live show to go watch.
Yeah,
like when he
it
does the
was.
whole performance.
Oh my god, dude! Red Rocks, dude. Okay, have you guys heard of Red Rocks?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
amphitheater. Yeah,
that is in Denver, right?
Yeah,
You been there already?
So it was one of the first shows I saw when I was there. I saw Humphreys McGee first, and then I saw Tenacious D later on that year or the next year. And dude, it was sick, dude. The ambience and shit. Plus they had the orchestra, the Denver orchestra, whatever the fuck it's called. And they had them playing in the background, so they had like trumpets and shit, dude. Like he's a visionary, dude. This dude
Yeah.
got like a whole bunch of people together to play all this music.
Yeah.
And there was like a little skit on the TVs and shit going along with it. Like, it's dope, dude. It's a great show.
I'm about to admit something right now. I don't know how you guys feel about it,
Tell
but
me.
I don't know why, dude. I don't like going to concerts, dude. I don't like being in the crowd, man. I really feel uncomfortable,
It's
man.
because of the
No.
type of your dude. It's because of the type of dude
Yeah.
you are.
I hate going to concerts too. I love them, but I hate them.
Yeah, I hate
because
being
I
in the pit.
always zone out. I'll always be there. I'll always be that guy
'Cause
having fun, getting drunk.
You're
but
always
at one
worried
point,
about your environment. I know
No,
that's how I am.
no, me, because at one point, once this happens, dude, I'm fucked for the rest of the show, and everybody hates me. Like, everybody who's gone me is just like, you're in that mood again. Because I'll be there and I'm watching. I'm so intrigued by it. I'm getting drunk, but all of a sudden this mood hits me, and I'm like, I shouldn't be here. I should be over there. And once I start doing that to myself, then I start seeing people doing, surfing the crowd and all that. And me, I'm just in my own world. Like, I'll never fucking feel that.
No,
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm
I
a-
depress myself. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like my environment, it kind of creeps me out. But then also too, I get distracted by the chicks, and I see everybody, and I'm just a people watcher. I'm just watching people. I'm just like tripping out my environment. That's how I am in shows, and I hate being like in crowds too. I'm just like, man, what the fuck, these people? I'm just looking at everybody and just scoping everybody out.
It's only when you can really focus on the band that you can have a good time.
I felt
Yeah.
that way
Yeah.
before too. The way you feel, I felt that way.
About
a
being on
couple
the
of
other side?
times,
me too.
like-
Yeah, me too.
like,
Yeah, of course.
Oh, it's kind of strange, but
But I get like
I really, really gotta love the band to enjoy their show. If I really, really love the band, I'll be like, fuck yeah. Like Mars Volta and A Perfect Circle, that was a fucking great show. Like, but I really gotta love the bands. Like going and seeing fucking Cold and getting my boys in at the same time and all that shit. That was super special. Like I love that shit.
When I saw, I mean, I can't remember what they're called right now. Jesus, for the love of my life.
Another thing I want to admit too is I like A Perfect Circle better than Tool.
Because of the new Tool album, you guys heard it?
Yeah, I heard it. I thought it was dope.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
pretty
good.
good, right?
But yeah, I prefer the more mainstream sound than
That they had with
the polyrhythm.
And it's just kind of weird, huh? I don't know why I gravitate more towards like the mainstream
Okay,
shit.
I got it.
yeah.
It's the pop. It's the pop.
People have always
Yeah.
accused me of
I
being too
saw-
pop, you know.
But that's the thing though. Pop is like System of a Down even has the guitar player
Has a
from them,
poppy element to it.
They admit to it.
But
He admits
it's
to
also
it.
a unique fucking thing that the unique spin they put on their riffs and
If
the
you-
way they make their music.
That's what the goal is to get to play the things that everybody loves, but at the same time have your own original twist on it. And if you can find a type of style that brings in the people and is original and unique,
Well,
I-
they,
That's
they
the
also
goal.
put in the like
That's the goal right
Armenian
there.
riffs, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
and the vocals stuff, yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like that's like a native to their
It's like kind of natural flow for them, yeah.
and that's cool because like I trip out because I'm like, oh, El Nino, they put like the Latin vibe like into metal or into rock, to new rock or whatever, and that shit sounds dope. Well, that's what like System of a Down's doing with their heritage,
Yeah.
and they're throwing that into rock, and like that's what that shit sounds like.
Yeah,
Cool.
they're still clashing, right? Or
No, they're back together.
They're back together?
No,
They're gonna tour. Well, they had already had a tour set up, and they
But
canceled
Surge
it.
is
they tour still, but they don't want to make music together because Darren and Serge have a thing going on. There's a lot of speculation.
Tug of
It's
war.
all
Yeah.
over the internet right now. But basically, the way I see it is that there's a dispute about the creativity and there's a dispute about the money, and so those two things are two different things. But either way, I feel like a lot of it should go in Darren's favor because that's just my opinion. I feel like Darren deserves the
System,
lion's
yeah.
share.
When he did-
deserves the recognition.
What was the
more.
name of his band? The band he had?
Scars on Broadway,
God
which
dang it, man.
which is just released an album last year and might be coming out with another one next year. So that'll be their third. Serge has also done all his creative shit. He was more the talent of the band though, but Darren was always the mastermind
Fuck
of
a
the
front
band.
man.
He wrote all the music. He's the one that wrote all the lyrics, most of the lyrics, all the music, wrote all the bass lines, all the drum lines. He did everything. So
Darren.
Darren did all that? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude, he did a lot.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of bands that have one-sided people that write.
yeah.
You know what
Dave
I mean? Yeah.
Grohl.
And so when
Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan, yeah.
so when Serge wanted to
Jacob
wanted to
Casillas.
change the music,
Fuck no. I don't make your guys fucking line.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say yeah, fuck yeah, both these fucks.
No, but you do make the songs though, so we just.
I make all of them. Aye. No,
That's
no,
what was with us.
Oh,
bitch.
yeah, no, but I mean, Jesus
But who else?
Christ,
Trent
man.
Reznor, right? Trent Reznor's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he writes his own
So
shit.
yeah, so like that's what I know about it, and that's the way I'm sticking to it. Like I still love both of them. I love Darren a little bit more, obviously, but
Yeah, that's always
Yeah.
been your shit.
Yeah.
How were you? How did you like shift from being a musician to not playing music anymore?
Um,
Because I did that for about 9 months, and I was fucking depressed.
Yeah.
Like, super hard. Like, I really gave it up before. People don't understand what I've given it up like a couple of times. You know, not my asshole or anything, but I've given up music. You know what I mean? But, like, I've given up music a couple of
How
times.
did you
People
do
don't
it?
know that about
Tell
me.
me how you did it, because
But how
I've
did
never
you
been able to
deal
do
with
that.
I felt like I had to put it. First of all, I had to pick up a bunch of other things in order to keep my time busy. So I started playing a lot of video games. I started gardening a little bit.
What video
and
games?
working. I've been playing a lot of Apex lately.
Are you on Xbox or PS4?
Xbox.
You still making bad choices.
Nah, bro, the fucking Xbox. Dude.
Don't talk to me.
And it's gonna get better too. This next
Don't
one.
make eye contact with me.
Me. Huh.
He had a lush gardening.
All right, so you start gardening. What do you like? Tomatoes.
Yeah, tomatoes. I have a bunch. I have 3 habanero plants. I have 7 different types of peppers.
Remember your fucking salsas were the shit, man.
I mean, I'm making more.
Hey,
Nice.
remember your little, you know
You know
your
what,
little
though?
potato macaroni?
I'm gonna tell you right now,
mac and
Aaron.
beef. Yeah.
Red salsa, chile de árbol, better than any green salsa.
I'd go to his house just
Yeah.
to have it. What are you making? Mac and beef. I'll be right over.
Next time I
because he
come-
makes some mean mac and beef, dude.
Next time I come, I'm gonna bring some salsa.
Why is it so mean?
I'm gonna make some jars and shit with my little face.
This fool this fool would be like, look, check it out.
You
dude.
just eat the little. You eat the little mac and beef. Who hurt you?
No, dude.
Why are you so mean?
No, dude. His mom taught him some shit, dude. Like he would go like, "There's 1 potato there, 3 eggs, some
No.
ham or whatever," and he'd be like, "Watch,
Yeah.
check it out, watch." No, like for one time
Oh.
for breakfast, you're like, "That's all I need. That's all I need." Watch. He starts frying shit up, mixes this and that in. We ate this big old fucking breakfast. We're all laying there all.
It was just fucking,
I think it was right before. I think it was right
remember that. I
before
remember
we did a street fest or a balloon fest.
No, not the hotter than hell one. 'cause
Maybe
that's,
it was
that's the one where we went to IHOP. But yeah,
Oh, the local fest.
Yeah, it might have
he used
been
to always make the breakfast reels for local fest. And at
look,
first,
here's a little extra one for later.
and then we all know how Chris Castillo is. He likes to eat his own thing, so Aaron would make it, and then he'd be like, "I made his burritos," and then Chris would always go like, "I'll just eat something over," because he never wanted to eat anybody's stuff. And even when we went to go eat at a restaurant, we would never group eat. We would with you, we would do it, but Chris won't do it.
Yeah.
Chris won't do it with anybody. So, but Aaron would always do that. And I don't want it. I'd be like, "Oh, give it to me then." Like, oh, fuck. And we would just eat like crazy because we knew we were gonna drink all fucking day.
all
God.
day. Fuck yeah, dude. So yeah, I cook a lot. So, but what I also had to do in order to
Survive.
to survive without having to play music or without being able to play music is to start accepting that shit might just be over, and that was the prime of my life, and that's over now, and I'm moving on to other things. I had to kind of put that in my head, which
I mean, don't
I've
see it
realized
as your,
now
the
doesn't
peak.
necessarily have to be the case.
It doesn't have to be the peak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Well,
realizing
it's
that
like-
now, little by
because-
little. But
I guess you started transitioning like before you even left El Paso. I think.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I was already falling into drugs and stuff, and getting myself away from music, and telling myself that it was because I was getting away from all the bitches and all this whatever nonsense I had to tell myself, just to like not feel so guilty and dumb about what I was doing to myself. So yeah, that's basically what it was. I had to
It was hard. It
kind of
was,
lie to myself like that. I never was that good anyway, and shit like that. Like, you know, feeling sorry for myself.
and you made it hard for us, well, for me too, because you left, and then Mikey left first, and then you left, and then it was just Bern. And I remember at some point, me and Bern still even tried to like.
What's up with Mike, man? Have you talked to Mike?
No one.
No,
No,
He's not.
We've already talked about this.
I had a brief conversation with him. I want to say about a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago. But other than that, I've never. I know he's a manager at a cement complex. I believe.
Concrete.
What I've been
Concrete,
thinking
yeah.
about doing is
I
the
just
next
I
time
saw
I'm
him
here-
like last month at Peter Piper's. Are here.
See, so he's still okay. Maybe
Did he see you?
Nah.
No.
what I know is that his parents live here.
Yeah.
So maybe you saw him when he came to visit them. For
I'm
one
thinking
of the
that's what
kids
it
or
was.
something.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what it was.
Because the last time Bernie saw him, one of the times that I had come back, I took him to the Vista Market over there on the west side. You know where Bernie lives, way out there, and he said he ran into him inside, and I was like, what? Like he was like, yeah, like he had already left and stuff, but he was inside, and so I know that he's living over there, but he probably comes over here. So I'm like, I got to see him sometime, you know. So
Yeah.
one of us has got to run into
I
him.
mean, I still have him on all social media, but I don't know.
think
He's
it's-
just dormant.
I think we should tell everybody that we know that knows him.
If anybody
ever
knows
runs into him,
where Mikey's whereabouts,
tell him to contact
tell him
us.
we're looking for him.
Yes, and we all want to
Yeah.
talk to him and make
I
amends
know
or whatever.
That, I know that Joe talked to him.
Yeah, my piece of shit brother Joe. I love you. I hate your guts.
Yeah.
He ran into him.
Oh yeah.
And he told me about it. Yeah.
I love Joe too.
Mike, I don't care if you cut your hair, dude. I want to
Did he
see
cut his
what
hair?
you're like now. I don't know. I'm
it's
just
still long.
imagining what everybody, because before you got here, because Aaron talked to me, finally before he came, he was like, I'm sorry, like we're cool, and I'm like, dude, we're cool, whatever. But in my head, I imagine I was like, watch, this fucking guy is gonna come with like a fuckboy haircut, all cleaned up, and then he shows up all fucking raggedy. I'm like, nope, still Aaron. Still the same
I would have hated
hair.
on you too. I would have been like, look at this bitch, but
They look
I'm not
exactly the same.
I'm not a hater.
Hey, well, no, not exactly. I have the sides también now. You know.
Yeah.
Fuck
You do?
you. Yeah,
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
there.
me and Aaron
It's a little
exchanged
thin.
haircuts. Me and Aaron exchanged haircuts.
Don't fucking rag on me. Just 'cause it's
This
thin.
was Aaron back in the day.
Oh, I thought you meant if you had white hair. I'm like, no, you
No,
don't.
no, no. I said no. I have long
Yeah,
hair
this
on
was
the
this
sides.
was you back in the day.
long
Aaron.
hair on the sides.
This was you back in the day, and that was me.
Yes,
but
yeah.
not curly. And now we're exact opposite.
Yeah. With your
But it's because I have to for work. Well,
hair.
I could pop it up, dude. I could pump it like a man.
I remember one time I told my ex, I'm like, hey babe, put your hair in a man bun, and she's like, we talking about a ponytail? I'm like, oh yeah, a ponytail.
Jake's pretty sad. I wanted to hit you guys with this situation. He's been pretty sad about this. We cut each other's hair here and there because there's
Do you?
nowhere to get your hair cut. But the other day I cut his hair and he was pissed. He took his hair down. He's like, "Don't I look like the fat guy from Wedding Singer?"
You know that little kid
little
that,
fat
that
one?
doesn't get to dance with anybody?
But Julia dances with him. And that.
Yeah.
He did look like him.
That's what I look like when I put my hair down.
He was so pissed. He was so pissed. He's like, my hair is not growing. And I'm like, well, I've been growing mine for about, I've been manager for about 9 months now, so about 7 months. And he's like, piece of shit, I've been growing my hair for like 2 years.
Yeah, since 2018, I haven't cut my
He's
hair.
pretty sad about it. He's like, I think it's just because it's you.
It's
you
the first time growing it out
yeah,
for so
there you go.
long.
He goes, you're
Yeah.
growing it out from as a young age.
I've
like
never
your
had my
body
hair this
knows
long
it.
in my
Like your
life.
body knows it.
Like,
So I'm like, fuck, like I see your hair and I'm like, maybe I should just let my shit grow. But they'll make me
we
cut
go.
it at work, dude, and then I'll be all sad.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you're a boss, but you can't do shit.
good grief, guys.
Sorry.
Hey, the thing, the thing is, I got all these pellets to fucking get done on Monday.
Yeah.
Grief.
Guess who's my guy? You
No,
know what?
yeah,
You know what? He doesn't even complain. He likes to do it. He's like,
Yeah, I don't
hey,
care, dude.
why don't you build so I can put some shit away? And then you can hear him throwing stacks of rubbers and go,
that's
fuck.
how he works
Look at
out.
him. Look at this guy.
All I can say is
He
that
lost 50 pounds. Get out of my
in the
life.
words of Ashton Kutcher,
With that, guys, we're already hitting that 1:30. So, do
But
we have
dude-
any last
Yeah,
Okay,
things
here we go.
I
before we
do-
wrap it up?
Here we
Go
go.
ahead.
You need to give us one of the most embarrassing moments you've had as a musician.
As a
Whether you
musician?
threw up, whatever the fuck it is, the worst thing that you could tell is the worst.
On stage failure.
On stage, right
you know.
after stage, you threw up. Maybe you tried to hit some girl and it was actually a guy. Whatever it may be.
on stage, something musically.
Well, this guy didn't really have a lot of shame.
I
so-
remember
I
that
was
time you
never-
were.
yeah,
I
that's
remember
what I
that
was
time
about
you were
to
dating
say.
that stripper from. Was she from Jags?
Yeah, no, the Nero's.
Nero's.
Fucking the even dirtiest one.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Hey, I didn't know which strip club she was from. I just knew she was from a strip club at the bar. We met
But
her
then
at
when
the
you
Yeah.
bar.
found out she was Nero's, you're like, damn, girl, you're fucking bottom of the barrel. You're the gutter rat.
It's like, what's up, hot mama? Dude, I didn't care, honestly.
She was
Whatever.
she was African American too, right?
Yeah,
Black?
she was.
Anyways,
I had never
thick
seen her.
black
You know?
girl.
what was your the most embarrassing?
Embarrassing though. I would say it's even easier to tell you the ballerest moment I had. Like,
Do that.
the one time we were playing one of our first shows and I was still a minor. We were playing at this bar and Dyer or some shit.
This is the time I threw up. Okay, cool.
Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, you threw up. See, he
We're talking
threw
about
up.
his embarrassing moment.
I know, but he threw up and I didn't. But what I did was I dislocated my thumb. So I was playing the
yeah.
shit out
Slapping?
of my bass, and I look at my thumb after one song and it's like fucking popped out right here, like the whole thumb. And
Is
then I
that
was just
something that you could actually? Are you double jointed where you could pop it in, pop it out?
I used to be able to do something like that, but no, it wasn't doing it anymore. So, but then I did that and it popped out like real ugly, and I was like, what the fuck? So, but then I was
Was
like,
it painful?
I was like, next song, and they were like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Just go." And then I just fucking kept playing, and it just went back in. I was like, like nothing.
yeah. I remember
It was
that.
like nothing.
You never tripped or anything on stage.
It's not that where I was embarrassed of it.
No, but did you fall? Have you ever fallen?
Yeah, when we were doing that moshing, I was doing that moshing. I fell straight on my ass, and everybody had to pick me up, but I kept playing at the same time. There too,
Okay.
so I was not ashamed.
I was like, I'll be damned if you've gone your whole career without
no.
ever falling one. Because I've eaten shit twice.
Yeah, no, I'm clumsy. I'm actually pretty clumsy.
So we had this thing we call it Bar Fest. It was at Aaron's house. So So we'd lock the front door, set up the PA, jam forever, whatever. But one time we were jamming. We were playing a song, and we just hear Chris Castillo.
Oh yeah.
Hits the door because we ever get him out here, we'll talk about it. He hits the door, he hit it all hard, like his head hit the door, like dunk. We stop the song, everyone starts laughing. We're like, "What's going on?" And go back there. He's over there trying to get up. You know, give him the hand, get him back up. Right, go.
Oh no! You know what? There was one embarrassing thing I
There we
remember
go.
now. I farted on the stage, like ugly.
I mean, but nobody could hear it. But I'm pretty sure
No,
people
but we all
smelled it, right?
smelled it.
Yeah.
But it was before the show had even started, so some of the other bands were coming up to say hello.
It was
But the best shit about that is that
Wait,
no,
what
okay, so
happened?
nobody
Wait.
heard it.
It
You
was
know what I
a-
mean? But everybody smelled it, but nobody
was
knows where
a-
it came from.
what
unless
was
you
the bar
admitted
you
it.
said
You know,
that-
you claimed it.
I claimed it.
the bar
Yeah.
you said that you ran sound for us at.
Well, he pointed me out.
At Uncle Polly's.
Okay, Uncle Polly's, and he farts, and then Roca's getting on stage from
No, it
Mexicans.
was
that
TKO. It was
Oh, was it
TKO,
TKO?
bitch. Yeah, with Jolene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Roca gets on stage. He's like, "Ay, güey, alguien se cagó." And Aaron turns around. He's on.
We were singing poos. What can I say?
And with that, guys,
Oh god.
One thing I do want to say before we end it, like I said earlier, dude, I'm proud of you, dude, and I
Yeah,
hope you keep
man.
up with the good work, man.
I'm not.
And,
absolutely.
you know, I'm glad to see you, dude. Happy to see you.
Thank you.
I'm happy
Oh,
to
yeah.
see you, but you have
I'm
a
happy
lot.
to
You
see
owe
all
me a
you
lot.
folks, too.
You're dead to me.
And I'm sorry I never reached out, dude. I'm a horrible friend. You know what I mean? And yeah.
Oh, and if John Steady, if you're watching this, you owe me an acoustic bass,
Yeah,
you fucker.
John State, if you're watching this, you owe me a fucking amp and a blowjob.
All right, guys, we out of here.
All right,
Peace.
later.
Peace.
Later. Oh, damn, dude. I got to take a